Sports Center.
It was a big splash over the weekend. San Antonio Spurs, part of a 3-team trade that landed DeMar DeRozan in Sacramento from Chicago. San Antonio got veteran Harrison Barnes and an unprotected 2031 pick swap from the Kings. Well, today the Spurs renounced the rights to Dominick Barlow, David Duke Jr., Sandro Mamukelashvili, and Cedi Osman. The Blitz starts now.
Joe Reinagle.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Monday afternoon after a long holiday weekend for most of you.
Well, you didn't have a long holiday weekend?
I did not.
Why not?
Well, I had to work on Friday.
Oh, that sucks.
But it is what it is. I mean, I was actually looking forward to coming to work on Friday. James Pledger and I were ready to break down the Lauri Markkanen trade that still hasn't happened. We were ready to, nothing. Nothing happened, but we were ready.
You were ready.
We were like the storm chaser camped out in Port Aransas. There was nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Houston got hammered today.
Houston is still getting hammered. That whole area. Check on your friends in Houston.
Yeah,
they're without power. They're might be underwater.
Yeah, a lot of it is. Saw a bunch of rescues taking place over there, and it's weird because that thing, hurricanes never go where they're supposed to, and I'm convinced there is a dome over the city of San Antonio for the most part that just kind of, there's a force field or something because that thing just moved up east. As I'm watching it, thinking, okay, am I going to have to reroute get different airline stuff or whatever?
At what point did you think you might have to change your air travel?
Well, I was thinking about that actually on Friday.
Yeah, on
Friday. Yeah, I was thinking that I may have to come home early.
Responsible adult thing to do.
Yes, exactly right. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I mean, you would think. I mean, because like hurricanes coming, you realize air travel is going to be messed up.
It is.
And if you're scheduled to travel, hell, I wasn't even scheduled to travel this weekend, and I was getting alerts on Southwest and on United, the apps I use the most. I even might have got one from Delta, which I forgot I had that app going, but all these travel advisory push notifications from every airline out there that, well, there's bad weather. Flights are going to be screwed.
Yeah, we talked about it on Friday, but as you notice, that thing was kind of wobbling a little more to the east. So I'm thinking, well, we'll be fine.
One of the better hurricane memes that I saw this weekend, and there's been some good ones, is even the hurricane didn't want to mess with I-35.
That's a good one.
And that's true. There's a lot of truth to that. The other one, not really a meme, and honestly, genius marketing from HEB. If it was true, the one that we've all seen about, hurricane, bottles of water, limit this, 2 briskets, limit to 2 briskets. You only need so much toilet paper. Did I mention 2 briskets? Was that HEB just trying to unload a bunch of briskets, or was that made up? I still don't know if that was true, but it was brilliant.
Well, it had to be their pre-cooked brisket, right? Not one that you had to take home and cook.
No, you can take it home and cook. That's why I say. I mean, it's July 4th weekend. They got a lot of briskets ready to go. Hurricane's coming. We can't get stuck with all these briskets, but you know what? You guys have 4 days to get ready for this hurricane. You got 4 days before you're going to be without power, and you're going to need a lot of food. Brisket sandwiches are great. So you got for your hurricane parties, let's do a brisket, and then you'll have leftovers. I think it's genius.
Well, you know what's great about hurricane, if there is a hurricane.
Yeah, they weren't.
There's anything great.
Well, they weren't marketing a limit on microwavable foods.
Well, no, but I'm just saying. I mean, you have plenty of time to plan.
Oh. Yeah.
With hurricanes.
You do.
So
it's coming for a while.
Of time. Yeah, it's not like it just pops up.
It's not a tornado like random. Whoa, look at that. The whole town disappeared.
You got plenty of time to plan for that.
Yeah.
And, depending on when you work, during the day, you kind of make plans accordingly.
Well, again, it's about being responsible.
Exactly.
It's kind of like
common sense.
Well,
even.
I mean, not everybody has common sense.
Apparently
He
not.
also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up.
I mean, there was video over the weekend. It really is sad on many, many levels. But there is somebody that's not with us anymore because he decided that he was going to take his box of fireworks and light them on top of his head. He's not here.
Alcohol's bad.
I don't know that I blame alcohol for that.
Alcohol's
I don't know
bad.
how drunk you have to be to decide, you know what?
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
Rob thinks the guy was trying to commit suicide, and what a way to go out.
What, by popping your head off?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
I didn't take it that far.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, here's a guy that thought, man, this is going to be great for the gram.
Yeah, well, it is for the rest of us.
If some girl can go viral with saying "Hawk Tua," what could I get with this video?
Yeah, with a flaming head.
Yeah,
running down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it worked for Richard Pryor.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tua and spit on that thing. You get me?
That never gets old, by the way. I'm just saying.
It hasn't yet.
That never gets old.
I mean, the documentary they're doing on her is it's a short film, but.
Is Pledge still in love with that girl?
Oh, forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Who were you in love with when you were growing up? I mean, your age, Alice, Texas. I'm going to guess the Farrah Fawcett poster was on your wall.
That was absolutely.
Yeah,
who didn't have that on there?
Well, yeah, but Pledge has already got a poster on the wall. That's what Farrah Fawcett was to you when you were 10 is what Hawk Tua girl is to Pledge at 43.
Well, I don't know because I spent a lot of nights with Farrah. We had a lot of good times together.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple of good weeks with this chick.
I'm sure he has.
Yes.
Yeah. Play that on loop. Hawk Tua, Hawk Tua, Hawk Tua.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tua and spit on that thing. You get me?
Well, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
You were here on Wednesday, weren't you?
I was.
S.A. Birdman on YouTube says, "Can we hear Hump Day, Joe? Missed it last week."
Well, I think Birdman wasn't here on Wednesday.
Oh,
that's the way I took that. So, yeah, sorry, Birdman. We gotta wait till Wednesday.
Wait till Wednesday.
That's the tradition.
Absolutely.
Okay, John Sobry. Is that Drew Minix?
I have
you want to announce? You know, B. Arthur and Maud. Dude, that's hilarious.
That is.
Maybe you're not old enough.
No. I gotta say,
Golden Girls, right? Yeah.
Is that Golden Girls? Which
one of them?
Which
yeah,
one?
the ugly one.
Which one? No, I will say for me around that age of 9, 10, 11, when you realize you like girls, obviously Farrah Fawcett. I had that poster. Heather Thomas, Heather Locklear, and Samantha Fox. Those were the main posters on my wall at home when I was 10-ish.
Now, admit it. My fourth grade teacher was hot as hell, Mrs. Franks, and I will never. She was hot.
What was her first name?
I don't remember.
Beans?
It didn't really matter.
The jokes to go with Mrs. Franks. I mean, it's like a bad line out of Porky's Revenge.
Yeah, well, Mr. Franks, I'm sure enjoyed that.
I would hope.
I would think so. She was hot.
So tell us about Mrs. Franks.
Well, that was a long time ago, but I mean, she was. I had a few hot teachers growing up
in Alice, Texas.
Yes. Back then in Alice, the oil business was huge. There were a lot of rich folks that lived there. Now, we weren't one of them. My dad was a pharmaceutical sales guy.
Yeah, your dad was selling drugs and was the local bookie. Don't tell me he wasn't the rich guy in town.
Well, because of all the oil money. I mean, they had a lot of money to throw around.
Sure.
So, but back then, oil was huge in Alice, and there were a lot of rich people there.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of
hot teachers.
Well, and I was the lifeguard at the country club, and
the country club. Yeah, I'm not rich, but I was the lifeguard at the country club.
I had a job. It was a summer job. That didn't mean anything.
Well, I mean, it's because you're
a lot of hot moms running around there too.
Was your dad a member of the club?
He was.
Yeah. I wonder how you got the job. You want to give Bronny crap? Look at you. You started the same way.
I still had to go through the Red Cross training.
Well, I mean, Bronny's playing summer league.
Is he?
Well, he played. He played in a game.
He played in a game and didn't really play well. I saw a lot of bricks being laid.
I mean, sure,
dude.
I mean, give the guy.
Give him what?
He's earned it, man. So, John wants to know: did your dad miss any parent-teacher meetings that year with Mrs. Franks?
I don't remember.
Did you get in trouble just to get spanked?
Well, no. I was in the 4th grade. How old are you in the 4th grade? 10?
4th grader age? I don't know. I don't know how old you are in the 4th grade. I forget.
Hot. She was nice, yeah.
The fact that you remember her is all that we need to know.
Well, I'll tell you everything.
I mean, Google image her today. See where she's at.
I don't know if she's still with us.
I hate to say this because I know I'll offend somebody out there.
That's all right.
I don't recall many hot teachers in Copper's Cove. I know there were some. They just weren't mine. And especially not like in elementary or middle school. Now, once you got into high school, there were some attractive teachers that probably shouldn't have been in high school, teaching high school boys.
Well, and your definition of hot when you're a high school boy is pretty much when the wind blows. I mean, it's like everything. Yeah, the hole in the fence. I mean, it's like everything.
I don't know about that,
well,
but it's not far off.
I'm serious.
The great part was there was one teacher that I can't remember her name to save my life, but talk about sounding old. The teacher smoking area was the same as the student smoking area. And there were a lot of young boys that decided smoking was cool because of one teacher that was out there.
That's it.
You went and lit the cigarette and held it the whole time. You never actually smoked. I forget her damn name. But yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Remember when schools had smoking areas?
Memories. Yeah. I don't recall a smoke. I guess there was. See, I didn't
and
smoke.
Alice, as old as you are, you probably smoked in class.
I didn't smoke.
It was like having ashtrays on the airplane.
That was one bad habit I never picked up, was smoking. I have a lot of bad habits, had a lot back then, but that was one I didn't. And I think it's because my dad smoked and I hated it. I used to be a prisoner in the back seat of the car with the windows rolled up.
The same way. My mom's car would not start without a lit cigarette.
Yeah, so
and I was anti-smoking except for a brief period of time. And that's because we all went out there at the same time for her smoke break.
Nice.
Not really.
So you were one of them that held the cigarette with the hot teacher.
Absolutely. My friends. Yeah.
I even tried to dip back then, and that didn't turn out very good because everybody did. And you had the circle in your Wranglers.
We had to dip.
You had to.
Our baseball coach.
He made you?
Absolutely. You're going to be a baseball player. You got to chew tobacco. And we would all have the big league chew in case your parents asked questions. So we always had the packs of gum. Yes. Gum. Coach Lauri.
Here's the deal. I'm old.
He was also our driver's ed teacher.
Well, that happens in a small town, right?
Yeah.
Well, like Coach Lee, the golf coach, and he was a football coach too. So, you had to do both. But I'm so old that in our locker room, Jason, we had salt tablet dispensers.
Sure. Yeah.
Can you imagine giving a kid salt tablets now?
Dude, it's 2024. I think about all the stuff that we did. How Mommy was just on the Blitz with us not long ago. And not only did we get salt tablets, we had to, I don't even want to say we drank from the water hose. I remember they would take those PVC pipes on those, like, I don't know, horse type things that for like barriers.
Yeah.
Drill holes in it, run the water through that to create a fountain. That's how you drink during your 2 water breaks during 2-a-days, and then do bear crawls across the band parking lot. You talk about the abuse we went through. We used to have a coach. It wasn't Mummy, but one of the assistants had his Aggie ring, and he would slap you in the helmet with that ring. He'd probably get arrested for that now, let alone
absolutely
get you to go from point A to point B by grabbing you by the face mask to if you didn't know your left from your right.
I had a coach who grabbed you like that, and he had a nose like Pinocchio.
Really?
And that thing would be bouncing off your nose, and he'd spit while he was chewing you out.
I'm glad you said nose.
Well, yeah, it was a nose.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
He was spitting. Wasn't on the thing, but he was spitting. Jeez, the memories, huh?
Good times.
Good times.
Good times. Anybody else feel old today?
I hope everybody's got all their digits today. Nobody had a problem.
I haven't heard of any.
Well, I mean, I see 15 digits in here, or what? No, 30. Math is hard, man.
Kept on my fingers, but lost a hand. Here we go.
Wow. It's going to be a fun show, dude, because you've already done 4 hours today.
That might be a promo. The brilliance of Joe Reinagle. You couple that with how long it took you to figure out that LeBron is sleeping with the teammate's mom.
Dude. Well, I'm thinking scandal. I'm not thinking, it's a funny dad joke.
Uh-huh. Okay. So 15 digits?
Times 2. It's going to be a fun show.
I mean, you could say there's 42 in the room right now. Or are you including James Pledger?
42?
10 fingers, 10 toes in a...
Well, nobody's lighting fireworks with their toes, are they?
Well, I mean, if they're barefoot, they could lose a toe.
Well,
and I've seen a couple knuckleheads on social media that, held up a bottle rocket like they had something going on down there and watch that thing blow up backwards. He's lost a digit.
Wow.
An important one. All right? Well, I don't know if it's officially gone, but, I mean, it looked like that firework went a little John Bobbitt on him, if you will.
Dude,
or Lorraine, I suppose. He's now John.
I'm going to tell you.
There's some idiots out there.
Yes.
There are some idiots out there.
Yes. That's just, alcohol's bad.
It's not.
Mixing with fireworks.
It's not.
It
makes it so much more fun.
Well, it doesn't hurt till the next day.
I mean, the videos are incredible. I'm glad there's stupid people out there for my entertainment.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that what it boils down to?
Of course.
Yeah. The Spurs, they weren't at parties over the weekend. They were getting work done.
Yes, exciting.
Yeah, we still don't have a Lauri Markkanen, but we do have a Harrison Barnes. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I always do my best to prep for summer, but sometimes things just come up. And when they do, Kohl's and their great prices are always there for me. I just shopped their summer cyber sale and saved big on everything I was missing, like summer must-haves under $15, floor care essentials for 50% off, and kitchen appliances for 30% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. So no matter what happens the rest of the summer, I'll be ready. Thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Euro 2024 is heating up. Catch scenic views of every game at your local lodge with the Twin Peaks girls repping their new jerseys. Order a 29-degree draft, kick back, and watch the tournament play out through July 14th. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rake. Circus Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circusports.com for details.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Monday afternoon.
After a long holiday week.
Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You can always tweet at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Old school. You can call us too. 210-676. So while you were enjoying the baby shower that wasn't.
A heat wave. Believe it or not.
A heat wave in Sacramento,
Dude,
California.
It was hot as hell.
Yeah?
Yes.
Anybody that was in Vegas this weekend says, hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly.
They set records.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. It was about 110 every day where I was.
Is that a dry heat?
Well, yeah, it's just like an oven.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what it was hot as hell. I'm going to tell you. But, yeah, it's fun. We got to see Folsom Prison. I wasn't inside, so got to see it from the outside, which is where I want to see it from.
Yes.
You
you weren't there to visit family.
Even played a little Johnny Cash as a tribute.
I think that's a requirement.
I think it is.
I mean, you might have been the first person in the history of ever to go to that prison playing little Johnny Cash.
Well, you got to do it.
Yes.
It's necessary.
It's like going to Winslow, Arizona and playing the Eagles. Everybody does it while they're standing on a corner.
Never been to Winslow.
Oh, you should go way out of your way just to go do that.
Where is it in Arizona?
Winslow, Arizona.
I know, but what's it near?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It really, as many times I've been to Arizona and done things in Arizona, I've never done that because it's so far out of the way. No, I've never driven from, say, Arizona to California, but I have driven from Phoenix to the Grand Canyon, which is not close, and that's on the way to Nevada. And stuff in Tucson, stuff in the mountain where the Snow Bowl is, wherever. I mean, yeah, it's nowhere close. I kind of want to go just for the picture.
Yeah.
I'm not going out of my way.
No, I wouldn't go out of your way. I would, and we didn't.
No.
I even found a casino in Sacramento.
Really?
How about that?
You finding a casino?
Found a casino. It was a nice one, too.
Did you hit any jackpots?
No, but I didn't lose my shorts either.
Well, that's good because neither did Brian Wright over the weekend. Didn't lose his shorts, and he hit a jackpot getting Harrison Barnes and another 2031 draft pick swap with Sacramento.
You would consider that a jackpot?
That's a really nice trade for the San Antonio Spurs because you're bringing in another veteran player without a ridiculous contract.
Right.
Guy's got some championship experience on his resume with Golden State. He'll come in, he'll be a starter, another veteran guy that with what the Spurs did, they added a nice piece without affecting their 25 and beyond plans. So if they can still get a Lauri Markkanen deal done, they can still do that. They didn't sacrifice any of the future that we keep talking about to help this team now. I'd say that's a win. And what did they give up? Nothing. Nothing. So that's a nice chess move by Brian Wright.
Well, okay. I guess I kind of see it as me kissing my sister. It's really, I don't see where it moves the needle. Look, I'm not opposed to it. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I'm not opposed to it. I think he'll add whatever he's going to add, but it still doesn't move the needle as far as I'm concerned, just simply because, when these two guys leave and you're hoping you get that haul in the magical year of 2025. And that's really all it does. Look, if anybody, and I love it because on social media, it's like Spurs starting 5, we're playoff bound.
Well,
and the Spurs aren't going anywhere. They're not, even with these moves. And if it's a teaching thing, fantastic, great. And I'm kind of resigned to the fact that that's it. Harrison Barnes is a nice player. He played all 82 games last year. That's nice. And he's going to be a nice player, but it doesn't really move the needle, does it? All you're doing is playing conservative ball at this point in time, getting ready for what you think is going to be a magical year.
Okay. Conservative in the Spurs. Oh, no, that's unusual. In reality, now I don't think Lauri Markkanen is completely off the table.
Not at all.
Yet,
right? I agree with that.
And there's some contract stuff that it might be August before we know it might be the trade deadline. Who knows? But that could still be in play.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what you're hoping for, a big blockbuster move like that, then I could see where you'd be a little bit wet blankety on a deal like Harrison Barnes, who comes in with that will make this team better than what we had last year.
Sure.
He's certainly an upgrade. They're not a playoff team, and I don't know that they're trying to be a playoff team, but they will be better. Good God willing.
But be worse.
But well, that's it. But that's why the Atlanta unprotected pick is so valuable. Now, we don't know how bad Atlanta's going to be, but last year with Trae Young and with DeJounte Murray, they were 10 games under 500. They were the 10th seed. They're going to suck next year, and they want to suck next year, which is why you can't give up that number 1 pick. So I like the move because it helps this team now in a variety of ways on the court and off the court, and it doesn't mess with any of those future plans that the Spurs have.
Well, that's it, because, again, it's that magical year of 2025 that everybody's looking forward to. Look, I've already read several articles today. The Chicago Bulls are already tanking.
Yes.
For Cooper Flagg. That's their deal. They're tanking for this guy.
Yes.
So there's going to be competition for that guy. Other than that, I mean, there's some nice players there that could be nice players. But he's the guy, right? He's the sweepstakes winner of next year, is he not?
I am. Yes. He's the one everybody would love to have. But and I'm not a draft expert by any stretch of the means. So all I can do is I have read in multiple places next year's draft is so deep, 4 or 5 of those guys would have been the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. So even if you don't get Cooper, depending on where you're picking, you could get somebody that, and now this year was considered a weak draft, but a guy that could have been the number 1 overall pick this year if the timing was a little bit different. So, and we know that the draft gods love San Antonio. That's why when they get the chance to get a generational player, they do. I don't know. But in the other thing, and I was having this argument in the pool over the weekend with some friends, why do we want all these picks for 7th graders? In 2031, which seems like forever away, how many years is that?
2031?
Yes.
7.
All right, so 2030 is 6 years away.
Right.
So you are getting draft capital when Wemby is going to be 25, 26 years old.
And hopefully still a Spur.
Well, that's the plan.
Hopefully.
Well, you're planning for that.
Well, sure.
And so you're getting great draft capital when he is in his mid-20s and his prime. I mean, it really does look like they are building the now and the future. And that's the idea. So whether they become tradable pieces down the road or you're actually drafting high with somebody's unprotected pick in 2031, which who knows what that pick is ultimately going to be, but it could be a lottery pick. You never know. But it's planning for keeping this train rolling once it does get rolling. So I don't mind the picks that are that far in advance.
Look, the Spurs have 4 first-round draft picks next year?
Is it 3 or 4?
Whatever it is, it's an enormous amount. They're obviously not going to draft all of those guys. They're not. They can't. It's impossible for them to do that.
You would expect some more moves to come.
And so, yes, and with all of this draft capital that they have acquired, they're going to have to spend it at some point in time.
Yes, they will.
You cannot draft all the draft picks that they have. It's just, it's impossible.
It is.
So I'm hoping that instead of having to wait until Wemby's 25 years old, that we might want to do something and make a splash. Now, I think
they will do stuff before he's 25.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Next year,
so
they will do stuff. But they are also set up to. I mean, he is 20 years old, and they've got draft capital between now and retirement for him. It feels like. So when you look at it, it's not like they're going to wait till 2031 to spend that. I expect next year to be big, but they also have draft capital for when he is in his prime that could either be for picks or to facilitate other moves. I like what the front office is doing.
Well, and I'm glad that you like what they're doing. I don't understand. Well, professional sports to me is winning now. I know you have to plan. I get all of that, but who gives a damn what happens in 2031? I would like to hang a couple of banners before that happens.
Me too.
So I don't know who's coming out. I don't know what 7th grader is going to be the guy.
Yeah, but RC does.
No, he doesn't. Nobody knows.
Well, we don't.
Again, the reason that I'm the way that I am, and I know it irritates a lot of people, and that's fine, but I just don't. You don't know that Cooper Flagg is going to be that guy.
Sure.
Nobody knows, or anybody else in 2025. What I think is that there's going to be some high-profile free agents next year. I think that's more the target in my mind for the Spurs than it is the draft.
And that might be, but when you look at their picks, it will be on both. And if you get a chance and get lucky that Atlanta sucks and actually wins the lottery 2 years in a row, then that pick is yours. And in 2031, I agree with you. I expect the Spurs to be really good then, which means they're picking in the late 20s again. So these picks they're getting that are unprotected in 2031, hopefully those could be lottery picks to add more value.
Well, I hope I win the lottery too then. I really do.
Well,
I hope. We can always hope, and I guess that's the plan.
See, Joe, you can't win if you don't play.
The Spurs
are playing.
Front office is hoping for lottery luck. Nice.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hey, Lloyd, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Joe? What's going on, Jason? Long time no talk, gentlemen.
What's up, man?
I just wanted to chime in on the coach thing you guys were talking about earlier. So I had my dad was my Little League coach. He's a command master chief in the Navy. And he got pissed I wasn't swinging at the ball, so he threw it at my face. and it reminded me of like the Water Boy, the movie. Yeah, and I started hitting the crap out of that ball ever since then, man.
So your dad was a command master chief. What happened to you?
Yeah, man. Padres, Chargers, baby. You know who it is. It's me, dude.
Yeah, Mr. San Diego.
Yes.
Yeah.
Filipino, lumpia and pancit, and fried rice. Y'all remember. But I appreciate the call, guys. Man, I just wanted to drop that in there, and I appreciate Pledge letting me in, man. But yeah, man, after that day, dude, and boy, he used to chase me around the field. No love. No love.
The way it should be.
And the main coach, I want to chime one more time. The main coach did have his son play, and yes, his son was always pitching until he benched him and he put me in, man. And that was like the greatest moment of my life.
There you go. Appreciate you, Lloyd.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Lloyd.
you. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. There's some NFL news. And CeeDee Lamb's got a camp coming up, and he's already sent a warning to all the media. It won't be listened to. We'll talk about it coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, A.J. Hoffman might return. I'm not sure. We'll look at where the Spurs are headed. And are you ready for the Olympics? Yeah, it's baseball season. We'll talk some baseball, too. Get here early. The fun starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
As you know, summer is right around the corner, and for most people, that means more activities, more golf, more biking, more of whatever you love to do. But if you're dealing with aches and pains, your more could become less. This is why I'm here to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. You see, instead of masking your pain, Relief Factor's formula is designed to help reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, and it's been a game changer for so many people. So let's get after it this summer. Let's feel good. Let's do more of the things that we love to do. Don't let pain keep you down. Give Relief Factor a try and save on your first order. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Help fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
If you owe $25, $50, even $100,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt, you may be feeling overwhelmed, filled with anxiety, even embarrassed. Well, stop. That's right. Stop. It's not your fault. Life happens. People lose their jobs, get sick, get divorced, and many other things that can lead to financial stress. So, don't feel bad about it. Do something about it. And join the over 300,000 people who worked with accredited debt relief to pay off their debt. A company with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They're here to help people just like you. Get out of debt faster and feel the relief that comes with financial freedom. So stop delaying. Make the call to learn how much they can save you. Time and money. There's no pressure, no obligation, just a call. Call 855-432-5077. 855-432-5077. That's 855-432-5077. Program and services not available in all states.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The Morning Huddle.
What about a WPGA Pro? Is anybody?
The WPGA? I thought that was the LPGA. See, they're ladies that play golf.
Oh.
Not women.
Well,
ladies.
when I call women ladies,
No,
I call women's sports lady sports.
Only in
everybody
golf
gets
are they
mad.
ladies. Now, if they're playing tennis, they hoes. I don't know. I mean,
No, I don't think they're tennis hoes. The HTPA, the Hose Tennis Pro Association. I've never heard of that.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnick. Boy, I did a couple of racks of ribs this weekend that were fantastic.
Nice.
If you did some grilling this weekend, and I saw a lot of people posting, make sure you upload those photos to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
Want to judge some good meat on Thursday.
Definitely want to do that.
Yes.
Definitely want to do that. Before we get into the CeeDee Lamb story, you are a YouTube TV guy.
I am.
Right?
Yep.
You don't get Bally's.
I
believe Dish Network is still in a pissing match with Bally's. So if you're a Dish type, you also don't get Bally's, which means the Spurs broadcasts.
Correct. Yes.
Now, Bally's, you can also watch the Texas Rangers. And used to be home of the Dallas Stars. Now,
This is the home of the Aggies.
And the Aggies sometimes have a show on there too.
You never know.
Thanks, Andrew. The idea of what the Dallas Stars have done, I think, is worth paying attention to, because the Spurs front office type, not basketball operations side, I'm talking the business side. And if you've paid any attention to the talent that they have brought in, there's got to be something in the works for Spurs television down the road. What the Dallas Stars have done is they've left Bally's, which has been in the news a lot for bankruptcy and what are they going to do and blah, blah, blah. So the Dallas Stars announced today that all their games, or a good number of their games, I guess their games that aren't on national TV, are going to stream called Victory Plus, a free direct-to-consumer streaming service created for fans by APMC, which a parent media company, whatever. The Stars are their first client. So if you're in the Dallas Stars regional territory, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, you're going to be able to watch the Stars game on that app. So no more bitching that I don't get Bally's and I can't do this, or I'm not going to spend $20 a month for your crappy app. And I bring it up, one, because I know there are Stars fans that listen, all 7 of you. 8.
Are there that many?
Maybe.
Okay.
But in all seriousness, this is where it's going with these regional sports networks struggling.
I love this idea. I think this idea is fantastic. It's free to the consumer. You're still going to have to watch commercials, but we're used to that anyway.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I think it's genius.
Nothing worse than paying for a service and then getting the commercials.
Or paying for a service and you get crap.
Oh, well, like
Bally's.
The Spurs
games
and
so
this year. Yeah.
I think it's genius, and I hope this catches on. I really do. And if the and I don't know, you know how it is, right? I mean, everybody will watch to see if there's any hiccups or bugs in it with the Stars. But I think this is genius, and I hope it comes to this. I really do, because Bally's is just, it's Bally's. It's always been kind of second rate. I mean, we've been fortunate that, you know, Sean Elliott and Bill Land have been the voice for the Spurs, and they're fantastic. But other than that, it's like,
Well, I mean, game production for the Spurs, and I'm guessing it's that way. Reading about this with the Stars, although they did bring in their former Fox Sports executive producer, Dallas Stars vice president of broadcasting, guy named Jason Walsh, to lead Victory Plus. And my guess is, you know, their production crew, just like the Spurs have their production crew led by Kick and those guys.
And
Mike
they're
Kiccarello,
fantastic. They're great.
They would be a part of whatever they develop, whatever app they can come up with. I know the Phoenix Suns are trying to do something kind of similar. Although I think they were trying to do it on some sort of broadcast cable available in Arizona, not necessarily streaming. But as long as all the games are there and all the fans that have them want them, that's one of the problems with the streaming services is YouTube looks fantastic, but they're missing things that you might want. Dish Network is missing something. I mean, they all seem to, man, you got this, but you don't have that. You got this, and it's free. And Lord knows nobody wants another subscription, whether it's $4.99 or $19.99. Nobody wants to pay for this.
Look, I'm all for the commercials. I have no issue with commercials. We're used to that anyway. And so I have no problem with it. And if it's going to be free to the consumer to download and the quality is there, you've got commercials, so what? It's great. Everybody makes money. Everybody's happy. And I love this idea. And it's first I've heard of it. And so I'm glad you brought it up today. But it's like, I love it. And I hope it catches on.
And, the channel will have other Dallas Stars type of programming when nothing else on. So it almost sounds like a weird version of the old Longhorn Network, although they probably won't show the 2006 Rose Bowl 1,014 times a week.
Well, it's going to be interesting because the NFL now with their whole, DirecTV Sunday ticket thing, depending on how that turns out, and I think it's going to come to the conclusion where teams can have their own deal, but they're still going to share revenue.
Yep.
So, all of this could come into play, and this could be the way we'll watch sports in the future for sure.
Now, CeeDee Lamb is hosting a camp in the next couple of days that he's going to show up for. And CeeDee Lamb has already put out a warning to the media types. I'm not speaking about any contract negotiations. If that's your questions, you'll get zero answers. It's about the kids.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right. Look, I get that. And he's going to get a ton of those questions anyway. They will still ask. He can choose whether he wants to answer or not. It's unfortunate that we're still sitting here this close, 3 weeks from training camp, 2 weeks, whatever it is.
Dude, in 20 days, we get on a plane. Is it 20 or 20? Yeah, 20 days we get on a plane and go to L.A.
So 3 weeks from training camp, basically.
Yeah.
And we're still having to talk about this, and it's going to be a topic of conversation until there's a resolution.
Now, there will be, what's the over-under before he just gets pissed and walks away? 7 questions? Now, have you had talks? Are there talks? What's the range? We heard 32. Is that true? Or are you trying to go 35.1 just to be number one? Are you planning on holding out? Or are you going to hold in? Let's see, is that 7 questions?
We're getting close.
Are you looking for 3 years or 4 years?
Right.
What about getting franchise tagged? There's a lot of ways to answer the question.
Well, and you'll see reporters, and it's going to be comical to watch because I've seen it happen before, where they'll try to skirt around and get you to, start talking about it without actually asking the question.
I mean, like, are you looking forward to getting out to Oxnard?
That, yes, that will be something.
July 23rd.
Sure, that will be one.
Yes. What's your favorite part about landing at Port Magoo?
Mm-hmm. Are you looking forward to getting out and showing what you've worked on this summer?
Yes.
There'll be those questions that kind of go around, dance around the subject, just hoping that CD will bite.
You're looking forward to doing some one-on-one with Diggs. How's his recovery
Sure.
been?
Yeah.
Yes.
How about Dak? Looking forward to him throwing you the football this year?
I know, the second week when you guys are scrimmaging against the Rams, man. Who are you looking forward to going up against?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be there for that, man. Oh, really? Yeah.
Why not, CD? Yeah, it's going to be comical to watch that. And that's next week, by the way, where his camp, I believe, kicks off next week. So
look forward to that.
Yeah.
We will be leaving, like I said, the 28th. Is that the Sunday? So that Monday we'll start officially our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage. And the CD contract is going to be a story when we get out there. Something that is likely to not be a story is Dak Prescott in a boot. Now, I know you were on vacation.
I saw it, though.
You saw it, but you haven't seen all of it because you brought it up today, and I'm like, that's old news. See, it was a story Thursday, and then Friday on the show, we ended any of it. And then he posted a picture Saturday of him walking without the boot. Nothing to see here.
I wonder if it hurt him, though.
Walking?
I mean, walking without the boot.
Well, so the
Could have
story.
just done that for the cameras.
You think?
Well, sure.
He's Dak Prescott.
I know.
He didn't take a picture with the boot for the cameras, but some dude down in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's Dak Prescott in
With
a
a
boot.
boot.
Boom. I'm
Yes.
going viral.
They're talking about the Cowboys in Sacramento.
Oh, really?
Of course.
Oh, because they don't have a team.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, they do. It's everybody's wearing these obnoxious 49er hats.
All those 49er fans?
Yeah, bunch of those.
Is the son-in-law a 49er fan?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
All
Dude, I will impress you. He's a big soccer dude. Went to college on a soccer scholarship. I had to watch a bunch of Copa America.
What is the deal with this? Right? Rob was talking about this morning. And I'm like, dude, I didn't get up at 4:30 in the morning to come in and talk soccer. I have no idea what you're talking about. And now you're talking soccer and you were actually watching it?
I watched some of it,
Did you watch it or were you playing solitaire because he controls the TV in his house?
I was watching a lot of Instagram reels at the same time. But, some of it was what I don't understand about soccer.
Here we go.
All right. And, we bitch about the officials in every sport. I don't know how many yellow cards I saw for just stupid stuff. I mean, I'm like, and I would ask, so why the hell's that a yellow card? Well, it's because he impeded it. I'm like, the guy acted like he got shot.
He did.
And he went down.
Yes.
And yellow card.
Yellow card.
And I'm like, that's a bit harsh.
I mean, is it?
Yeah, it is. And then if you get two of them,
that's a red card.
Well, you're out for the next game.
Yeah, it's like getting a red card. It's like targeting.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
I mean, could you imagine if our listeners gave you a yellow card every time you said something dumb?
Well, they probably do. They hold it up.
Well, they hold it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, after you get two, you'd be out for the next show. And the rest of this one, I mean, you'd never work past 3:00.
Oh, that'd be great. Give me a yellow card.
You can only get so many before you get released.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand it. I don't mean to go down that rabbit hole, but it's boring as hell. All right, just let me say that. And I tried. I really tried.
Did you?
And it's like you got a bunch of dudes until about the last, 10 minutes.
Here's what I learned about soccer today. AJ Hoffman on the Morning Huddle. Because Rob is getting all into soccer, which really pisses me off. I've been trying to get the guy into hockey forever. And, I don't have the brain capacity to add another sport. But he gets off work at 10 o'clock and he gets home and the game started at 11 a.m.
Sure.
So he's got something to watch besides a judge show or a rerun of whatever. And if he falls asleep and wakes up,
and he will,
it's still nothing.
Exactly.
Right? So he hasn't missed anything or he's missed everything. Apparently, soccer games don't really start until somebody scores the first goal, which makes sense. You're just doing whatever until a goal is scored, and then the play really begins. So that could be really early in the game or really late in the game or never at all.
No, that's really not the way it works.
That's what I learned this morning.
I'm just saying.
From soccer expert Rob Thompson.
It really doesn't work that way because I'm watching a game.
You're going to tell me how it really works.
And I think it was it was Turkey and somebody. Right. And
Turkey apparently has changed the name of their country.
Well, and apparently they are not very good, is what I learned, although they're still playing. And they were playing the Netherlands, I think. Anyway, Netherlands is supposed to be pretty good. And they were down 1-0. Yeah, whatever. And so they finally got off of their butts and scored. So it's like it's 1-1 with about 10 minutes to play. And then you got an extra time. And I'm like, extra time? Why don't they just stop the damn clock?
Well, because it never stops.
All right, well, stop it.
Well, they
just add on extra time.
They just add on
and
extra
that makes
time.
no sense. So it's confusing. But I tried. I said there's too damn many yellow cards. Way too many yellow cards for stupid stuff. God, yellow card. Well, he didn't do anything.
Well, he did something. He is something to get a.
I didn't know LeBron James played soccer.
Wow.
They breathed on the guy. He fell down. Yellow card.
Huh.
Jeez.
Now, I just don't like the inconsistency of the refs.
Well, that's every sport, isn't it?
It is, but when it comes to yellow cards, because sometimes you see stuff and you go, well, that other play looks similar, and there was no card given.
Uh-huh.
And apparently, if you're attacking the ball I don't know. I don't care enough about soccer.
Well,
I tried. I haven't thought about, and I say thought about, San Antonio FC was playing on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
We were trying to figure out, what do we want to do tonight? And my wife was looking at things to do. And she mentioned there was a soccer game. I was like, it's supposed to rain. No. And it did. But I will say, every time I've gone to see San Antonio FC, or even back when they were the Scorpions, when Gordon owned them, their live is a lot of fun to go. That is a fun time because you know what you're not doing? Watching soccer. You're drinking beer and there's it's a big party. And you're not really watching soccer.
And the rules are different between that and Copa. That's what I found out. So
I don't know if the rules are different. They're enforced differently.
Well,
I mean, a handball is a handball. It feels like there's only two rules in soccer. Don't touch the ball with your hands and don't tackle a guy.
There was a handball that wasn't called. And I'm like, well, how does that happen? I mean, it's pretty clear to me the guy swatted it with his hand. Can't do that. Well, he got away with it.
How did he get away with it?
They didn't call it.
In their video review?
Yeah, they didn't call it.
They didn't review it?
They did review it.
Hold on, they reviewed it?
I don't know if they reviewed it or not.
Oh, did they or did they not?
I don't know.
Come on, reporter Joe.
I know he touched it with his hand, and it wasn't called, and it was just fine. I don't understand it.
Did they gain an advantage? Do you know what that means?
Well, it was an advantage because it might have been a goal.
So it was in the box, and the defender touched the ball with his hand, and they didn't review it?
It was on the field.
Somebody, you got to protest this.
I have no clue.
This is ridiculous.
Dude, I tried.
Did you?
I did.
Hard?
Too damn many yellow cards.
How many games did you try to watch?
Well, it was on pretty much all the time.
And it was too hot for you to go outside, so you had to sit in misery in Sacramento and watch soccer.
Went outside quite a bit. I mean, it's not like we sat there all day and watched it, but, there were times. I tried.
Did at least a good beer drinking sport for you?
Well, I wasn't drinking beer either, so maybe that was the problem.
I think we have figured it out.
Maybe that was it, because it was like in the morning, right? So before we're about to go do something.
Huh.
I tried, Minix.
Well, we'll all give you credit for trying.
I tried.
Our soccer community online, both of them, say congrats, Joe, for at least trying.
Too damn many yellow cards. That's all I've got.
That's what you got to bitch about.
Just let them play. Now, if you kick a guy in the face with your cleats or something, I get that. And then these dudes trying to head it, right? And then banging heads with everybody, and it's like, and we worry about concussions in football?
Man, it's 2024, and you're just now realizing that.
I'm just saying.
There are some soccer leagues that have outlawed heading.
They should.
The ball, like in high school and middle school.
I agree. They should. And then what do? You can't touch it with your hand or your head. You're screwed.
Bicycle kicks.
Yeah. Well, what if that hits you in the head?
Do you know what a bicycle kick is?
I know what didn't Pele make that famous?
And there was apparently a bicycle kick goal the other day in one of these games. That's what I heard about this morning on the Morning Huddle.
Well, I tried.
I might have taken a nap by then.
Yeah. I tried.
I know I didn't get up that early in the morning to talk soccer.
Huh.
So there's a guy.
Is this the start of a joke or what? It's a guy walked into a bar.
Well, it was a barn, not a bar. And apparently he grabbed some furniture.
Uh-huh.
And he had sex with horses.
Wow.
Well, he said, it seems like the same horse many times. I don't know.
Well, you find one you like.
I mean, it's not often you see bestiality charges going against some guy and read about it in the Express News.
Wow.
But it has happened.
I was out of town this weekend. Wasn't even here.
There's so many jokes. So many jokes. So many jokes. We'll dive into that coming up on the Blitz.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Missions Baseball returns Tuesday night at Wolf Stadium. Join us for AARP $2 Tuesday, presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First pitch is at 7:05. Go to samissions.com for tickets. Join Twin Peaks for every Copa America match today through July 14th. How will the U.S. fare against our neighbors to the south? Watch every game with 29-degree draft beers and wall-to-wall scenic views. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief occasion. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Do summer projects your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. With free delivery on over 2 million items, you can make the most of summer grilling and dig into gardening. Plus, get same-day delivery on thousands of products like power tools and storage to tackle any last-minute garage project. Summer your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed. Quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs needed to make some cap room for their deals that they did over the weekend, and they did that today. They renounced the rights to Dominick Barlow, David Duke Jr., Sandro Mamukelashvili, and Cedi Osman. That's right. They also got traded off Devontae Graham and a second-round pick to the Charlotte Hornets and made the Chris Paul signing official. Plus, we've got Harrison Barnes.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on a Monday afternoon, listening on 94.1. Maybe you're watching on at YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
All of that kind of stuff. However you're watching, we thank you very much for doing so. And just a warning with the next story that's coming up.
Was it next or is it going to be last in Headline
Well, it might
Blitz?
be. It might be last.
I mean, because I think if we do this first, we won't get to any of these other stories, which is fine. We can kick that can down the road.
We can.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Let's just do it now.
I say do it now. It's the story of the day.
Now, where are we at in this world if this is the story of the day? Although I will say, when I first saw the tweet from my essay, I thought somebody messed this up. South Texas man's 13 years of bestiality charges over sex with horses.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no
So you figure you've got to click that link.
Yes.
So I was thinking, okay, there's got to be some sort. I mean, a guy has not been having sex with horses for 13 years, although he has. And he's currently in jail. His name is Sandro Castillo. He's 54 years old. He's in the Hidalgo County Jail awaiting trial. His latest run through the legal system because, well, his attorney, Savannah Gonzalez, says the legal system has failed him. See,
yes, they have.
It's not the first, second, or even 58th time, it seems, that he's been arrested for a crime related to sexually abusing animals. Records obtained by MySA showed that Castillo has a lengthy history of arrests dating back to the 90s. Previously been charged with all kinds of stuff: marijuana possession, trespassing, arson, injury to a child, resisting arrest, assaulting a police officer, public intoxication, and bestiality.
That just sounds so great. Bestiality.
It just sounds so bad. The attorney says I think the system has failed him.
How does she explain?
It's clear he's got some mental health issues. It's important we address that and be able to evaluate his competency before anything else can be done. So don't do that. His arrest for animal sex crimes started more than a decade ago.
A decade?
Yes. Although there's times when he's been arrested, but no jail time, which I'm not really sure. Let's go to August 2011. An Edinburgh ranch owner caught Castillo sexually abusing one of their horses.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, the owner said on 4 separate occasions he caught Castillo with their horses, dating back to 2010. When confronted by Hidalgo County deputies, Castillo admitted he had sex with the horses. He was arrested and then charged with 2 counts of cruelty to livestock animals and 2 counts of criminal trespassing. 9 months later, he was convicted for 1 count of trespassing due to insufficient evidence on the other charges, even though apparently he admitted actually having sex with horses.
Now I'm wondering why. Did somebody ask the horse? Did she consent? I mean,
what makes you think it's a she?
Well, I don't know that it's a she, but I'm assuming
it gets better.
Okay.
Yeah, keep reading.
Boy. All right, keep reading.
In 2013, November of 2013, he trespassed into another stable in Edinburgh. This one on Alberta Road, if you're familiar with the area. He had sex with a horse there. He was arrested shortly after, charged with cruelty to livestock, and sentenced to 2 years in jail, 5 years probation, and 120 hours of community service. But the jail sentence
what do you have
was
to clean
suspended.
up the pen?
I don't know. I don't know that that's the right thing for him to do.
Wow.
He caught, probation rejected because he tested positive for marijuana. Blah blah blah.
No sexually transmitted disease.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then let's see. Blah blah. 2015. Castillo went to that same barn over there on Alberta Road and allegedly attempted to have sex with one of the horses there. However, the horse kicked Castillo and broke his leg. He hid in the property's barn until police arrived, claiming he was hit by a car. Hidalgo County deputies arrested Castillo for criminal trespassing after he was taken to a hospital. He was sentenced to 5 months in the county jail. He would then get arrested for other crimes over the next 5 years, which included resisting arrest and mischief, blah, 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 blah. He set a field on fire. Let's see. I'm almost to the good stuff, people. In 2022, he was arrested after a San Juan resident caught Castillo sexually abusing their horses. Documents show Castillo's arrest was the result of an investigation spanning from 21 to 22. So, I mean, the cops over there, man, they had all kinds of things set up to try to catch this guy. See, here's where he messed up. He left wooden benches or lawn chairs inside the stable as a mean to access the barn and aid in positioning himself to abuse the horses.
Look, I'm no horse expert or anything, but if a guy's standing on a lawn chair doing his business, I mean, can the horse just like buck him off?
Yeah, well, I mean,
So that's what leads me to maybe the horse didn't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
The horse might be used to something a little bigger.
I mean, well, that I'm assuming. Now, here's the thing. The people in San Juan, those stable owners noticed the furniture and thought, there's something not going on here that's normal. I mean, this doesn't look right. So they put up security cameras.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So they, in March of 2022, they watched live from their security cameras as Castillo.
Wait a minute. They watched live. How long did they watch?
Well, as long as the movie lasted, I imagine.
Wow.
But they watched Castillo abuse horses. It's horses, not horse.
Horses.
So it says more than one. I read that as more than one because there's a comma, including a pregnant mare.
Oh.
The owners then attempted to confront Castillo, who ran from the stable. One of the stable owners chased him down, but they couldn't find him. But he got arrested later that month for bestiality. He posted and got out. Ongoing because there's more and there's more video. This story, it's like a never-ending story.
I want to know where this video is. Did the dude in San Juan keep it?
You want to watch? Well, I hope.
Well, no, I don't want to watch, but it's like I think this guy say, "Hey, come to my house for dinner. I got some great video for you."
Well,
holy cow!
I would hope that a judge or a DA, the cops, they've all seen this tape. This seems like some sort of bad Netflix movie, doesn't it?
Yes. Holy cow!
I mean,
dude, this guy is. He's quite the player. He's got a lot of stamina.
I don't know, man, but if you're a horse on Alberta Road or in Edinburgh, you got to watch out because there's more than one ranch, it appears, and multiple horses involved, dating back many years. I'm trying to figure out what year this is, but property owner noticed the stable light was off around 4 a.m. So the owner approached the back door of their house to investigate and saw Castillo using a lawn chair. See, now that just adds danger because those aren't sturdy enough. So, I mean, the table I get, the lawn chair I don't.
Well, you get. Well, it depends, I guess, right?
A grand jury has yet to indict Castillo on his latest bestiality charge, according to the paper.
Bestiality.
The state has 90 days from when Castillo was arrested to charge him with the crime. He is yet to have his hearing for the 2023 bestiality indictment. Well, that seems like 90 days have passed. He is in jail right now on $75,000 bond. Castillo's family is raising concern about his mental health, his ability to comprehend the legal system, and trying to dispel rumors of his actions, according to the lawyer. Castillo's family, according to the lawyer, it's so sad. They've been ridiculed after his arrest and online harassment on social media and verbal harassment. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I just want to have been ridiculed. And
how do you think? I don't know if that's what the horse is making when he's standing on the chair.
I seriously, I would think if the horse wasn't enjoying him or herself, they would have bucked him off.
Now, here's they're in the barn, so are they?
They can't. Are they tied up?
Are they strapped in? I mean, are they? Do they have the ability, or do they even know what's happening is wrong? It's like when the veterinarian shows up, right? I mean, do they know that this guy's having pleasure and the horse is just there? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Do we have a horse expert out there? I want to know.
I really don't.
Is there?
I mean, there's lots of questions unanswered in this article. There's a lot of detail, but then there's some things that
now I wonder if this happens often.
Well, I don't know, Joe.
Bottle of Jack Daniels. I mean, wife's out of town.
The fact that bestiality is a thing and there's a word for it, it's probably more common than any of us realize.
Well, it probably is.
And apparently, if you have sex with an animal, it's cruelty to the animal, even though we have no idea how the animal actually feels. And according to our people on YouTube, your horse sounds more like Scooby-Doo. Do we have a Mr. Ed sound effect that we could use? Do we have anything else? Can we get a little more Lil Nas X in on this deal? There we go. I mean, do you figure this is what he's playing in the barn for ambiance?
Well, it puts a whole new meaning on ride. That's for sure. I don't know.
I got the horses in the bag.
Wait a minute. Where the hell was Nas X in 2011?
Well, he wasn't in Edinburgh. Is this the first time you've heard this song? I mean,
I've heard this song before.
It's just been a while.
But I'm assuming when he says ride, he's like riding the horse, not riding the horse.
What do you think he meant when he said horses in the back?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
there's a whole new meaning to
Lil
this song.
Nas X makes no reference to lawn chairs or tables.
It's kind of assumed, isn't it? I mean, I don't know, unless you're Wimby, if you could like have, if you're tall enough to take care of it without a lawn chair or Wilbur. Woo. I went.
He's in the barn.
I need to buy the horse dinner.
Please, Wilbur. I'm not wearing pajamas.
Hold on.
Wait.
What? Do that again?
Please, Wilbur. I'm not wearing pajamas.
So obviously it's been going on since a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Wilbur,
do not have sex with your horses
Hump day
on any day.
Please don't. I mean, unless you're into that, and that's up to you. What you do in your own barn is your business.
Please, Wilbur. I'm not wearing pajamas.
What the hell?
I don't get it.
So Mr. Ed, was Mr. Ed the guy or the horse? And who the hell's Wilbur?
I'm not old enough.
The famous Mr. Ed was the horse, was the name of the owner of the barn.
So that's where Mr. Ed would say, Wilbur. Yeah. Well done, Wilbur.
All I know is this guy, I don't know if jail is the right spot for him, but he needs to go somewhere and just lose the key. With no animals anywhere near.
Please, Wilbur. I'm not wearing pajamas.
What is that from?
That's Mr. Ed. That's legitimately from Mr. Ed.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Garcia from Spurs Zone tuning in to hear our latest opinions on the Spurs acquisitions. Tweets. Tune in to @SA Sports Star to hear Jason Minix talking about a dude plowing a horse and @Joe Reinigo making horse noises that sound more like Scooby-Doo.
Wow.
We're going to have to let that air out a little bit before we get into Harrison Barnes on this conversation. Welcome to Texas, Harrison.
Yeehaw!
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
Too many of you have horse jokes that I just don't get.
I'm telling you.
And I'm glad I don't get them. If you're not sure, go to the SA Sports Star, San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. There's a whole lot of peanut butter talk in there, and I really don't know the references, and I don't want to know the references.
That's to keep the horse quiet.
Please, Wilbur. I'm not wearing pajamas.
Would you stop with that one, Pledge? That one's done. Throw it away. That one's that's just creepy.
I love that.
No.
That's the ultimate glory hole.
Oh, my goodness.
It is the absolute glory hole. I want me some glory hole.
Please, Wilbur. I'm not wearing pajamas.
It's a tremendous punch in the gut.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you get up at 4:30 in the morning, huh?
Exactly.
Punch drunk by 3:19. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Coming up here on the Blitz, Dan Hurley got a nice new deal from UConn. We'll talk about it. And the guy that he's not coaching, Bronny James, made his summer league debut.
Did he?
Well, yes, he did.
Yeah, that's yeah.
We'll get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, why not keep your 4th of July weekend going? All right, why end it? Who made the rules, right? Good way to do that is head out to the big blind. You can do that, especially if you're a member of the military, first responder. How about this? On Military Mondays out at the big blind, free play all day long, and then halftime all day for everybody else. So it's a perfect time to head out to the big blind. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, why not? It is the premier poker room in San Antonio. There is nothing better in the city of San Antonio or anywhere else for that matter. This place is fantastic. It's an upscale environment. It caters to players from all abilities. You don't have to be an expert poker player to go in there and enjoy yourself. They have daily cash games, daily, weekly, monthly tournaments, and it's from the owners of the Rue Pub and the Angry Elephant, meaning it is locally owned and operated. That is huge. And look, if you've been to either one of those places, you know the food is fantastic. Big Blind, they offer food and beverage served directly to your table. They got a full bar, and of course, they have TVs all over the place. So if you're worried about missing any of the action on the television, well, you won't because you can't miss it. It's all over the place. Head on out to the Big Blind. Military Mondays, free play for military and first responders. Halftime all day for everybody else. You know where it is. It's right down from the Rue Pub and the Angry Elephant, right there at 281 and Redland Road.
94.1.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special.
It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's horse expert Joe Reinig.
Wilbur.
I'm Jason Minnick.
What kind of a horse guy are you?
Not like that guy.
Yeah, you probably need a ladder instead of a lawn chair, huh?
Well, we're not talking about miniature horses. One of them Final Four ladders. No, just to get that's just so bad. And the comments on YouTube are all over the place.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people think that well, there's all kinds of stuff. Just go read the comments on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel if you want a good laugh. I think everybody but Becky is enjoying them. Actually, Becky's probably enjoying them. She
Becky's
just would
having
like
a
to
good
not
time. Yes.
enjoy that. Did you, I know you were out in Sacramento this weekend, although I'm guessing you didn't go by and watch any summer league basketball.
I tuned in a little bit of it. It was really bad basketball.
You could have gone to the games.
I could have
got you a ticket.
And why would I have wasted my money on a ticket?
Well, I mean,
the Spurs were awful.
You went to a casino, so I mean, I'm guessing you wasted money. Had you won, we would have seen photos of evidence of victory. We know you, Ryan.
I don't like to brag.
The hell you don't. The hell you don't.
Especially that second game was just awful.
I didn't see much of last night's game. I had to go to bed early since I had to come to work.
Well, I saw some. I did see some of it as we were delayed all over the place, but it was bad. It's just horrible basketball.
It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's summer league.
And it's bad basketball.
It is. And so when your team gets blown out like the Spurs did, you don't worry about the final score. You just say, did you see enough from Steph Castle to get an idea that the kid's going to be okay? And I think the answer to that is yes. And if you watched any of the Lakers game, because the whole world was tuned in to watch Bronny James, apparently. I mean, when you look at the coverage, it was and it's understandable because he is LeBron's kid. And so I get the attention. And he showed that he's not quite ready. Which we knew. So that
already
that was expected.
And then he misses the second game with a sore knee.
Well, I mean,
you miss that many shots. It's hard on your knee.
I would have thought it had been hard on the elbow, but whatever.
Well,
and we'll see what he does when they shipped over to Vegas. LeBron, and again, I do think in all fairness, because he is LeBron's kid, there's going to be more coverage. I saw somebody compare the coverage that he was getting to Tim Tebow, and I do have issue with that because Tim Tebow was one of the greatest college athletes we've ever seen.
Absolutely.
He just didn't translate to NFL. But he was a celebrity because of his college football dominance while he was at Florida.
Sure.
Bronny doesn't have that. So I think that was a bad comparison, although the amount of coverage for his first game was expected. It was. And he had a rough game. Now, LeBron did a sit-down interview, and he did say something that I will give Bronny credit for in a way that I haven't thought about before. Because LeBron essentially said, and I'm paraphrasing, Bronny has more advantages than most, right? And,
sure,
and he does. He grows up rich, has access to all the trainers, celebrities, you name it, he's got it. Yet he still puts in the work to become a Division I college basketball player and ultimately get drafted in the NBA, whether we think he should have been drafted or not. And I think that is fair and something that a lot of us have not given Bronny credit for. The kid has put in the work to get there.
A lot of kids have put in the work to get there, Jason. They didn't get there. The only reason he got there is because his last name is James.
It's true, but for a rich kid that puts in the work, you give him credit for that, because I haven't thought about that. Sorry, LeBron, I'll give you that.
Stop it.
I'll give you that. The other thing that, all the negative things being said about Bronny, LeBron James says his kid does not give a damn.
I don't know if people really understand Bronny. He doesn't care. I actually cared a little bit when I came in. I wanted people to like me, and some of the things that people were saying about me, it kind of bothered me early on in my career. I let it get to me. Bronny doesn't give a He doesn't. Bronny plays, he works his tail off. When he's done, he goes home and plays his video games. He does not care about nobody. He doesn't even listen to that stuff. He's like the complete opposite of his dad. His dad will say something. Yeah. Bronny does not care. Like me personally, when I was coming up, I had no choice. I literally had no choice. I had to make it out. Like I had no choice. I had to make it out for me, my mom, my family. Bronny has all the choices in the world. So it's like a whole nother, people don't understand how hard that is and the commitment. For him to be coming out of heart surgery less than a year ago, for him to be able to be in the NBA, the kid he's special, but he doesn't care. It doesn't bother.
Bronny has earned it.
Highly edited by James Pledger. What Bronny has earned it. And I'm glad the kid apparently doesn't care about all the negative things that are being said, because while he's gotten to the road because it was paved for him, it's going to be bumpy from here on out.
There's no doubt. And if what we saw, and he's not even playing against the best. I mean, these are guys like him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. And what I think is so unfair about it, if that's the right word or not, a lot of guys work their butts off and don't even sniff an opportunity for the NBA. If his last name was Williams or Smith or whatever, he wasn't drafted. He doesn't even get an opportunity to play in the NBA.
Nope.
So, I mean, let's call it what it is. The guy, and for whatever, I don't blame Bronny necessarily. He was born that way. His dad's LeBron James, but I mean,
in the lucky sperm club.
Well, let's not pretend that Bronny's working his ass off and oh my good, he doesn't care. And it's ridiculous. All right, he's in the NBA wearing a Lakers uniform because his dad. Pure and simple.
Mm-hmm.
I feel better.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right.
I puked all over the microphone.
I know. Ryan Eagle stating the obvious. Let's talk some college football coming up with CBS analyst Traylor McCarg, former Rice quarterback who was just coaching at the Manning Passing Academy, working with, Quinn Ewers and those kind. Traylor McCarg joins us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, they are excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. It's called the Hurt app, and it provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. Hurt is the app to have before you need it, so you don't want to wait for an injury to happen to go download the app. So go download Hurt for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. Hurt app available in the App Store and Google Play. You can learn more about the Hurt app and the TSAOG Ortho Now Injury Clinic online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, A.J. Hoffman might return. I'm not sure. We'll look at where the Spurs are headed, and are you ready for the Olympics? Yeah, it's baseball season. We'll talk some baseball, too. Get here early. The fun starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
I always do my best to prep for summer, but sometimes things just come up. And when they do, Kohl's and their great prices are always there for me. I just shot their summer cyber sale and saved big on everything I was missing, like summer must-haves under $15, floor care essentials for 50% off, and kitchen appliances for 30% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. So no matter what happens the rest of the summer, I'll be ready. Thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-cation. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E and 16004.
Play ball!
Missions Baseball returns Tuesday night at Wolf Stadium. Join us for AARP $2 Tuesday, presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First pitch is at 7:05. Go to samissions.com for tickets.
Looking for a way to elevate your engine's performance? Start with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. It provides faster oil flow for hot and cold temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions. Regular use can help your engine run cleaner and longer by defending against sludge and buildup, improving overall engine performance and fuel efficiency while increasing the time between oil changes. Make the switch without slowing down. Feed your ride Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Football season right around the corner.
Yay.
Big 12 Media Days actually start tomorrow in Las Vegas.
Nice.
And, you know, everybody will have their media days over the next couple of weeks. We know we're getting closer and closer.
I can't wait. I mean, it's like, it's just right there.
It is. It's that time of year. 3 weeks from now, we'll be in Oxnard for Cowboys training camp. And, you know, like all those that work in the college football world, it's vacation time. Like our buddy Taylor McCarg, the former Rice quarterback who is a college football analyst for CBS and ESPN and anybody with a paycheck. He was just on a great golf trip weekend out in Oregon, playing some golf after coaching at the Manning Passing Academy. Taylor joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. I guess you're ready for football season now too, huh?
Yeah, no doubt. Got the vacation and the golf out of the way, but it is right around the corner. I'll be at American Conference Media Days in a couple of weeks and getting going on prep for that and for the Mountain West and all the stuff right now. So I'm like everybody else. I got my Phil Steele magazine and starting to do some prep and some research. It'll be here before we know it.
Well, I tell you what, it is fantastic and a good time of year as we all look forward to it. Tell us, though, a little bit about the Manning Passing Academy and what you guys do there and some of the talent that you see there.
Yeah, so the Manning camp is, to me, it's one of the coolest things in really all of football, and it's kind of almost like a best kept secret. But the Mannings, it was the 28th year that they've hosted this camp, and the Mannings themselves are still actively involved. They are at every staff meeting. They are on the practice field. They're in it. It's not one of those things where they put their name on it and then you don't see them. from Archie Manning to Cooper, Peyton, Eli, all the way down in that family. They're actively involved. But the camp itself, it's for middle school and high school kids. They pay their way. It's held in Thibodaux, Louisiana, at Nichols State University. And the big piece that I think everybody knows it for now really is college quarterbacks from around the country are brought in to be coaches for that weekend. And so they've got, and these are everybody from Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers all the way down to, there's some FCS guys there as well. But these guys are there to be camp counselors first. And so they've got their 7-on-7 groups and they're coaching these kids. But then they've also got 3 opportunities to throw. And I always, when I was playing at Rice, loved getting those chances to throw because, when I was there, the big names were like Andrew Luck and Matt Barkley, and you're getting a chance to throw in front of the best quarterbacks in the country and really feel where you stack up against these guys. But this year's class, man, I thought of the years that I've been doing it, this was my 8th year. I thought this may have been the best class from top down, where you had, it felt like almost every single one of the Heisman favorites that's a quarterback was there. If you look at projected, day one picks that are quarterbacks next year, almost all of them were there. And I think that is the coolest thing to me is, Bill Belichick was there. First time I had seen him at camp. And you get these guys in the room and you look around and see all these names and faces that are some of the best in the sport at all different levels, including high school coaches. I mean, they've got high school coaches there. There's some of the legends in the sport that they come year after year and coach these kids. So it really is what the Mannings have built there. I think it's an incredible camp.
Taylor McGarg joining us here on the Blitz. I want to go back to the college coaches or college quarterbacks that were throwing, because I know you posted some video on Twitter of Quinn Ewers, and then, there's that Arch Manning guy. You while you're a Rice guy, you live in Austin, you're following what they're doing there on the 40 acres. And even Feinbaum said the other day on that SEC propaganda show that they were doing as Texas was going into the SEC last week, that he thinks Arch will be the starting quarterback by the end of the year. How do you see this quarterback situation playing out for Sark this year?
Yeah, I think it's the best quarterback room in the country, right? Because you've got Arch Manning, I think, starts for the majority of teams in college football right now. Quinn Ewers just happens to be a guy, oh, by the way, that has played a ton of football and gotten Texas to the playoffs. And in my opinion, I thought that was a year early. I thought they overperformed last year. It's talking season, right? And I think Mr. Feinbaum knows exactly what he's doing. I don't have that read on it. I think, and especially spending some time around them, they clearly get along. Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning, you could tell they've got a good relationship between the two of them. To me, the biggest thing, though, for healthy, right? I mean, the last 2 years has missed time, and that's the only scenario I could see. I don't think it's going to be a performance issue. I don't expect Quinn Ewers to have some slump in performance and get benched for Arch Manning. I don't see that happening. He's too good of a player. The only thing I could see is, does he get injured again? Does something happen where he misses a month of the season? And then Arch comes in, and if he plays well, now you've got a different – that is kind of potentially a worst-case scenario for Sark is that right there. But as long as he stays healthy, I don't think there's really an issue. Those are guys that, again, I think are two good teammates and complement one another. And I think with the Manning family in Arch Manning's ear, I think they're coaching him up on your time's going to come. If right now means being a backup, be the best backup you can be, support your teammate, and then your time's going to be here once he moves on.
Taylor, that's interesting that you say that. And I think Arch Manning is one of those guys that is so much different than everybody else when it comes to an attitude like that. And again, I think you're absolutely right. It comes from the family. But the fans are so excited about Arch Manning that there's going to come a game, an interception, something where they're going to be chanting Arch Manning's name. How do you think those two young men are going to handle that?
Yeah, again, I think you have an opportunity early in the season when Texas goes to Michigan that would squash really all of these issues, right? If Texas goes and handles their business, which I think they should win that game on the road, but if they go up, play well, Quinn Ewers plays well, they win that game, all of a sudden it doesn't matter what Arch Manning does against UTSA or against Louisiana Monroe. That really isn't going to matter as long as Texas is taking care of business in the way that I think we all expect them to. Now, from the performance issue, if we want to play the what-if game, that would be the biggest red flag and sort of challenge to this would be if they go up and Texas loses to Michigan and Quinn Ewers plays poorly, that is the exact scenario you would have a lot of fans and a lot of people on message boards saying, okay, is it time to make a change? But it's a long football season. And I think people need to remember in the expanded format, it's never been easier to overcome an early season loss than in this new format, because even if Texas goes up and loses to Michigan, and even if they lose a second time, still a chance for them to make it into the college football playoff, especially being out of the SEC.
Talking with Taylor McGarg here on The Blitz, a CBS college football analyst, also does a lot of work for ESPN, played quarterback at Rice. Your thoughts on Texas before we move on, as they go into the SEC, projections, I've seen them anywhere from first to third in the SEC. How do you see Texas's first year in the SEC going?
Well, I think they've got as much depth as they've had since Sark has been there. And I think the way the roster lays out and then the way the schedule lays out, there's a reason Vegas has them as one of the favorites to make the college football playoff. Are they going to win the SEC in their first year in the conference? No, I don't think so. I think Georgia probably reclaims that throne. That would be, in my opinion, favorite to win the conference. I don't think that's breaking news. And that certainly doesn't go against the grain. But the depth that Texas has, and again, the way the schedule lays out, they have these tests, 4 big tests, really, Michigan, Oklahoma, Georgia, and A&M. But the way that they're laid out in the schedule, even if you drop one of those and even potentially 2 of those, I think it's a team that you get to at worst 10-2 by the end of the season, and that's still probably a team that's going to make the playoff.
I can't wait for Texas and Oklahoma to make their SEC debut. I just think that adds so much excitement to what was already a great conference. You mentioned the American Conference. Obviously, UTSA will play Texas. When you look at the UTSA Roadrunners, Taylor, first of all, what are your thoughts on what has happened here in this program in a relatively short amount of time?
Well, we had UTSA a couple times last year, and one of my old teammates, Luke Turner, is on staff there, and I told him in person, I thought what Jeff Traylor and his staff and what the university has done at UTSA in just a little over a decade is incredible. Because when that program was getting going, and I was at Rice, we were playing them, and they were finding their identity, figuring out what they wanted to be, and then very quickly they became one of the favorites in Conference USA and now one of the favorites in the American. And I think it speaks to the university's buy-in in the program and that they got their guy and committed to Jeff Traylor. We're going to do everything we can to keep him and try and get as much NIL dollars as we can. And that's going to be the challenge for really any group of 5 team, but especially a UTSA as they sort of bump up against, they're now recruiting against not really the Americans so much anymore. They're now recruiting against the bottom Power 5 teams, right? That's who you're really competing against, a lower half. Take like a Houston, for example, a bottom half Big 12 team. That's really who UTSA is recruiting against these days. And I'm so impressed with what they've done. I think this is going to be, this will be a very interesting year because they had, Frank Harris and a number of other players that had been there for so long through those COVID years and in the last couple seasons that have now moved on. What does that look like as you're going to see new names and new faces? Can they step up, carry the torch, and kind of keep UTSA at the top of that conference? I think they probably do, but again, there's a lot of new names and faces that are stepping into leadership roles now.
When you look at UTSA, and I do think the way Jeff Traylor has been able to recruit and more importantly keep his guys on campus, the majority of them, this might be the deepest team that Coach Traylor has had since he's been at UTSA. The biggest question mark is obviously the quarterback position because Frank Harris was there for 7 years, longer than most guys' NFL careers last. What is your read on who you think is going to end up being QB1 for the UTSA Roadrunners?
Well, I know that there were a number of guys last year that had a chance in backup roles. I think it's probably Owen McCown, if I had to guess right now, but really they've got some early opportunities early in the season where don't be surprised if you see 2, maybe even 3 guys get reps. But like you mentioned, Jason, I think the biggest thing for UTSA is just overall team depth. And that's something that it's really difficult to do in the American because your best players right now in this modern landscape of college football are moving up if they have a chance to. And I know they lost the edge rusher that moved on to Texas from last year's team, but by and large, most of their underclassmen came back But like you mentioned, you got to figure out early in the season who the guy is going to be at quarterback, and they don't have to step in and be Frank Harris day one, but they do need. It can't be a step down in production from what they had with Frank Harris.
You know, Taylor, it's interesting that you say that, and we talk about Jeff Traylor, and it's been a couple of years now where we're going through this team is interested, that team is interested, and Roadrunner fans don't want to hear that, but it's going to continue. Just your gut feeling on a Jeff Traylor and him being at a big Power 5 school shortly. Do you think that's going to happen, or you think he sticks around?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think and I don't know Coach Traylor personally, but I do know he has deep ties and roots into the state of Texas. He does not strike me as a guy that's going to take a job at a Power 5 school that's out of the region. So I think that puts a very short list of schools that he would leave for. You saw some of the names 2 cycles ago that they wanted to hire him, and he turned down some Big 12 jobs that I think it surprised a lot of people. Now, that being said, there are a couple jobs out there in the state of Texas that if they came knocking, obviously he interviewed for A&M and I think was a finalist for that job. If a job like that opens up, could he leave? I think that would probably be likely, and I don't think UTSA fans would blame him at that point. But I don't think UTSA fans should be worried about him leaving for, let's say, a bottom half Big 12 job or a job that takes him out of the region. That as much as we've been around Coach Traylor, and again, I don't have a personal relationship with him, but just through our meetings with him and talking with him and how his interviews have gone with the teams he's shown interest in, I would be surprised if he left to go take a ACC job or an SEC job. I think he's going to stay in the state of Texas if he goes somewhere.
I agree with that. And I know his buyout at UTSA probably kept him from getting the job in Houston. He probably would have left A&M had he got the job, but his name isn't quite big enough, I don't think, for Aggies. But I look around the Big 12 media poll, and Big 12 media days start tomorrow. And it's still odd for me looking at the list of Big 12 teams going, that's the Big 12, huh? But I look at, is Dave Aranda on the hot seat in Waco? If Baylor has another bad year, well, he'll be gone. He's, had an opportunity at Texas Tech. I don't know if Joey's got a hot seat up there yet. TCU, I've seen that there's, they weren't, they were in a national championship game not that long ago, but it's what have you done for me lately? And, TCU's picked to finish the 10th in this year's Big 12. So I do think there will be some jobs in the state at the Big 12 level that come open by December.
Well, I think you're exactly right. I think it also depends on, which one of those. There's only a couple in there. Maybe Texas Tech being one of them, but I think Joey McGuire's got. We had him 2 years ago for his first game, and they took a step forward last year. Have balanced a ton of quarterback issues, and with their quarterbacks getting hurt, Donovan Smith moves on to Houston. But Baron Morton played pretty well most of last season when he was healthy. Having him back, I think Texas Tech is probably fine I think Joey's probably fine for at least another year. Would expect, again, my read there is that they like him a lot. Dave Aranda is the one, though, that I think Baylor fans are frustrated with how things have gone the last couple seasons. I think losing to Texas State last year set the tone for a pretty underwhelming season. And if they have a similar around 500 type of season, I would not be surprised if Baylor made a change. Now, is that a program that Jeff Traylor would go to? It falls into the criteria that we're talking about. But again, it's all speculation. But fascinated. You mentioned all the new faces and all the new teams. I was on with Sirius this morning talking Big 12, and it was a good refresher and reminder of not only which teams are coming into the conference, but go look at the favorites. And a couple of them are these new West Coast teams, talking about Utah and Arizona specifically, that I think it's going to make for a really competitive league. And what I'm most interested in the Big 12 is this a league that sort of cannibalizes itself over the course of the season, where anybody can be beaten by anybody week in and week out, and you get to the end of the year and your conference champion has 2 or 3 losses, and now it's just a one-bid league getting into the playoff. That's a scenario, just with all the parity in that league, that's a scenario I could see playing out.
I got to ask you real quick, just the new format with college football and the playoffs, the excitement I think it's going to add is just tremendous. Do you see this stopping at what we have now, or could we see a scenario in the future where we get more and more teams?
I've heard different scenarios where maybe do you add a group of 5 playoff? Is there a different version of this that's just for the group of 5? Do you get this to 16 teams? I'm not sure. But what I do know is, and I've been banging this drum for a couple years now, I am convinced that this new format will add meaningful football in the month of November. I don't think this waters down your Ohio State and Michigan last year nearly as much as people think it does, because one of those teams, the winner of that game moves on to the Big Ten championship. The loser of that game now is probably still in the playoff, but they're going to have to go on the road in all likelihood. So that you have a lot you're playing for, even in that scenario. But look at how many other teams in the month of November, they'll be playing meaningful football and have a chance at getting to the playoff. And that includes group of 5 teams as well, like a UTSA, like a Boise State, an Appalachian State, teams that get down to the end of the season. I think you're just going to see so much more meaningful football played in November, and I can't wait for it just as a fan of the sport.
Absolutely. Well said. I imagine a lot of talk about that at the Manning Passing Academy while you were down there. And question coming from our YouTube at chat, a good question that since you mentioned Bill Belichick was down there at the deal, was he wearing a sleeveless sweatshirt in Louisiana?
No sleeveless sweatshirt. He was, he dressed like the rest of the Manning camp coaches, but no, he was
what
interacting with all the
coaches
different coaches.
Dress like?
Just your standard, pretty boring attire. He wasn't in the full regalia like he had in New England. Although it was also 100 degrees with 95% humidity. So if you had the sleeveless sweater down there, you probably have a heat stroke. But no, he was interacting with all the different players and coaches. And this is my read. No one else said this. This is my read on it. Would not shock me if you saw his name back in the coaching circle next year. And if some of this may have been a little bit of scouting, seeing these guys throw in person.
Yeah, may have some of it.
Yeah.
No, all of it. That and it's in his blood. And what else is he doing? He's got to get a break from the 24-year-old.
Yeah, he's babysitting.
Exactly. Taylor McCarg, follow him on Twitter at TMcCarg16, former Rice quarterback, college football analyst for CBS and ESPN, and from what I could tell, a hell of a golfer. Taylor, appreciate you jumping on, man.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on.
Good stuff. Taylor McCarg on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Good stuff.
Always.
Good stuff.
He's a good dude.
He's a Rice dude, you know?
Yeah, he's smart.
Exactly.
He's smart.
We have a couple of pretty good guests from Rice.
We do?
Well, one in particular.
Well, Taylor and who?
What's his name?
Yeah, I texted that dude earlier today to make sure he was okay.
Yeah?
Haven't heard back from old Indy Kalu.
Well, Indy's doing fine. He's probably avoiding your calls until football season.
No, no, I doubt that. The normal text exchange is normally not about anything football, but you got to check on your friends from Houston.
Well, sure you do.
And I know he's a Rice guy, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he forgot to charge his phone last night and doesn't have power this morning.
No, because he's a responsible adult. He plans for things like that.
This is true.
Yes.
This is true.
That's what happened.
That's exactly what happens. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Last year's RV trip, we met a couple with the same bumper sticker. What are the odds?
Your cousin isn't a good storyteller.
He was a podiatrist, or was it a pharmacist? You don't say. Oh, I can't remember.
But she owns an RV protected by Progressive, and you don't. So until you get your own RV, her stories are the most interesting stories you've ever heard.
Wow, interesting.
And when you do get your own RV, save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive.
Oh, anesthesiologist. He was an anesthesiologist.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
I always do my best to prep for summer, but sometimes things just come up. And when they do, Kohl's and their great prices are always there for me. I just shopped their summer cyber sale and saved big on everything I was missing, like summer must-haves under $15, floor care essentials for 50% off, and kitchen appliances for 30% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. So no matter what happens the rest of the summer, I'll be ready. Thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Celebrate July 4th with the hottest deals at Lowe's. Right now, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for $10. And buy 2, get 1 free on select paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop these deals before they're gone, because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Annuals offer in-store only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Paint. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details while supplies last.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs Summer Leaguers, they will return to action tomorrow when they take on the Chinese national team. One more game for those Summer Leaguers. Now, the Spurs today renounced the rights to Dominick Barlow, David Duke Jr., Sandro Mamukelashvili, and Cedi Osman. They are no longer San Antonio Spurs. Doesn't mean they can't come back, but as of now, they are not.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Happy Monday, Jason.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, you haven't been doing anything today, have you?
No, I'm just sitting in this chair talking. Just talking.
Nice.
Had to get up early this morning.
Well, you know, it's funny because you said you got up at what time?
4:30 was the first alarm.
I went to bed at 3.
Wow, you party animal.
I know, right? Yeah, I wish that was the case. I had a few delays on my return trip from California.
Anticipated delays because, I don't know, a hurricane in the area is going to cause all kinds of problems with the travel schedule.
Yeah, well, that's true. That happens. And so I did. And I knew that, I didn't have to work until 2:00. So I had a little more leeway. But, if I did something earlier, I probably would have made other plans.
So you mean like if you do a morning radio show,
right?
Taking the last flight out of anywhere is probably a bad idea.
Right, it's probably a bad idea. You might want to go like earlier in the morning.
Now, I know I'm all about maximizing vacation time.
Of course.
But again, you run the risk of a lot of things bad happening if you've got a late flight out.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
If your late flight's connecting in Houston, knowing for a week they've been talking about a hurricane coming, maybe the responsible thing would make some adjustments to that schedule.
Yeah, I think so.
Or at the very least, don't wait until 6:00 at night on a Sunday to say, hey, boys, I'm stranded. I can't get home. There's a hurricane apparently happening and the plane can't land.
Wow, that's, that makes sense, especially if you're flying through Houston.
Yeah.
If you were going through Dallas or I don't know, maybe I went through San Diego. There was no hurricane there.
No hurricane?
None whatsoever. Still had a delay, though. But
well, it's because the domino effect of all the other delays and
that
cancellations.
Is the weirdest airport I think I've ever been in my life.
San Diego?
Yes.
That's the weirdest?
Dude, it was ridiculous. It was a pod.
A pod?
Where we were. Yeah, it was a pod with about 5 gates.
Mm-hmm.
One bar and grill.
Okay.
Which was packed.
Of course.
And, it was weird. And so you go down the escalator to the other gates. As soon as you get off the escalator, there's TSA. So you better not venture out too far.
Uh-huh.
You got to walk around and there's more. It was a strange airport.
Okay.
Saw a lot of people from San Antonio, though. They wanted to talk about the Spurs. And then I saw a coworker.
Yeah.
Which really surprised me.
Well, it's because she was in Vegas too, but somehow made it home. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, she did. Because we were on the same flight.
Yeah, because, now it makes no sense that you went from Vegas to San Diego, or she did, from Vegas to San Diego to come to San Antonio when there's direct flights available. But, you want that last flight. Get every ounce of Vegas you can for somebody that doesn't gamble. I don't understand her sometimes.
Well,
but it goes with the theory. So you were in Sacramento.
Sacramento. So we flew from Sacramento to San Diego to San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm guessing not a lot of direct flights from Sacramento to San Antonio.
No, because on the way up there, we went through Denver.
Yeah.
So
nice.
That was all great. Southwest was very good.
Now you've got a lot of things on the personal side that are, big event type things that are happening with with all the kids in Sacramento. There's a pregnant daughter-in-law.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then you've got another one that another daughter that is planning a wedding. Right.
Yes, that is correct.
And that wedding is next year.
Next year at some point in time. I don't know when that is, but at some point in time. Got a nephew getting married next year.
A nephew.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to worry about the nephew, but the daughter you do got to worry about.
Sure.
And I happen to know that your wife and this daughter went to go see Justin Bieber up in Austin.
Sure, they did. Yes.
And I just read an article that Justin Bieber is available for weddings.
Yes.
The Biebs is available for weddings.
He is.
He got paid $10 million to perform at a pre-wedding. It wasn't even the actual wedding. It was just like, hey, we're getting married. Let's have a party because apparently that's a thing. And they brought in Bieber for $10 million.
Well, what's the problem?
Well, I'm just saying.
$10 million bucks. I mean, come on.
The fact that the date for next year's wedding is fluid.
Sure.
I think you could work around the Bieber schedule and get Bieber to come for either the wedding or the pre-wedding.
I think we ought to do that. Sure. Absolutely. In fact, I'm sure she's working on it now.
Is that going to be Maggie's responsibility?
Well, yeah. And then it's her responsibility to win the lottery and all of that stuff.
And if you won the lottery, would you really spend $10 million that way?
I wouldn't. But
would you have a say?
But
knowing that he's
I might have a say. I'm not sure if anybody would listen.
Well, you don't have a say. They would just hear your bitching.
Exactly.
But still do what they want.
Right.
Which is the way it goes anyway.
Well, yes, exactly. That's exactly the way it goes.
The fact that Justin Bieber is available for weddings. Everybody has a price.
Well, for $10 million, I don't care how rich you are. It's a lot of money.
Sure.
Go sing for what? A couple hours?
If that?
Yeah. I go for $5 million an hour. That's pretty good job.
He probably does a 90-minute set.
I bet he does.
Do you think for $10 million, a dance with the bride is required?
I think it should be, yeah.
Or in this case, the mother of the bride?
I think it should be. Biebs could do a couple of dances.
What about a dance with the mother of the bride's husband?
Sure.
I mean, if you're paying $10 million, are you dancing with Bieber?
I don't know if I'd dance with him. I might get up there and, sing a song with him or something.
Oh, you think you're going
to?
Dude, if you're spending $10 million, you're not singing. The guy that's getting paid $10 million is doing all the singing.
I'm doing whatever the hell I want to do. All right.
If you've got $10 million to spend on a well, and that wasn't even the cost of the party. That was just the Bieber part of the
That's
party.
just Bieber, yeah. Yeah, if you got $10 million to throw around, that's like nothing.
Sure.
I mean, you've got a lot of millions left. Probably a B or two.
Are you going to do everything you can to hope your wife does not see this?
No, because even as much as that would be nice and all, the 10 million part is pretty much out of reach.
But I know your wife.
Yeah.
And while $10 million is out of reach and way out of the question, hell, 10,000 for something like that might be out of the question. But I could see your wife penning a lovely letter.
Sure.
Seeing if he would come down off that price by several like 10 million.
And the little teenage publicist that he has that would read that letter would throw it away.
You don't know that.
Of course.
I could see your wife trying. She would try.
She could try.
I mean,
that'd be great.
It's a possibility.
But if I had 10 million to blow on Bieber, I wouldn't be sitting here with you, first of all.
Well, that's obvious.
I'd be somewhere
Joe.
like I had fun.
Like not
I mean,
work?
this is fun.
I mean,
sure.
like not work. Like you were just in Sacramento, like Sacramento fun.
I know. Although
he just said doing a show with you is not fun.
Well, not if I had.
Well, if I had $10 million, it wouldn't be fun.
If I had $10 million, I wouldn't be sitting here either.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I might still do the show, but from my yacht, somewhere where there's not a hurricane going by.
I'm not sure I'd be doing the show, honestly.
I mean,
if I had $10 million to blow on Bieber, that means I've got a lot of other millions in the bank.
But you still have to do something every day.
Well, maybe.
I mean, this is still fun.
I could tell people what to do.
This beats
I'm
working
eating
for
grapes.
Why would you eat grapes?
Well, why not? Sounds good.
If you're getting grapes, you're not eating them. With $10 million, I've got somebody feeding me grapes
and a turkey leg. Yeah, those old
and a turkey leg. What?
You haven't seen those the kings that eat the grapes and the girls scantily clad feed them, and then you got a big turkey leg you're chewing off.
All of a sudden you've come you become Eddie Murphy and Coming to America.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody's bathing you, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'd be working at McDowell's.
Yeah. No, because he wanted to find a wife that wasn't after his money. I've already got a wife, and she knows I have no money. So,
I think it was the other way around in your relationship.
We're in good shape.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of Eddie Murphy, did you see the new? I know you're in Sacramento. Instead of watching soccer, the new Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley.
Haven't seen it. No.
Are you going to?
Yeah, I'd like to see it. I'm a big fan.
What'd you think?
Yeah, you were right on. That is up there with the first two.
Now, Rob Thompson did not enjoy.
He didn't like it.
No, he said about halfway through he was done with it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's be hard to top the first one. So you're saying it's good? It's better than the first?
Well, my expectations were really low.
Yeah.
And it's as far-fetched as you would think.
Sure.
Like nothing is realistic, right?
Right, of course.
But it's Eddie Murphy and it's what you want. They did a hell of a job of making a 1980s movie in 2024.
Nice. I like that.
So yeah, it was corny, unrealistic. It was what you would expect from a Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, good.
It is worthy of the 2 hours on Netflix.
I want to see it. Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yes.
I'm surprised it's not on the Southwest menu yet.
It just hit Netflix. It might be, but that's why I was curious if you.
No, I can't. It must not. It must have sucked. I can't remember what I watched on the way up there.
Well, on the way up or on the way back?
On the way back, my lovely wife, who is in charge of the earbuds, packed them.
Careful.
And so,
be careful.
We didn't have stuff to listen to on there. I tried at the goofy San Diego airport to buy some. They didn't have any. So I slept for the most part.
As opposed to throwing your wife under the bus there. See, here's what's happening.
I'm just telling the truth.
Here's what happens with the truth. Because I made that mistake one time about bitching about something that forgot to get packed.
Right.
Now I have to pack myself.
No, it was packed. But it was packed. It wasn't supposed to be packed. It was supposed to be in the purse.
But again, that's now going to become your responsibility.
Okay.
Your earbuds. Your earbuds. Earbud, also another bad movie. Your earbuds are now going to be your responsibility and will not go in the purse or her travel bag.
Well, it could be. But if it was my responsibility, we'd have been watching a movie on the way home from San Diego.
So you had a flight from San Diego to San Antonio.
2.5 hours.
With no device. No ability to listen to anything.
Although Maggie and I both are like sticking the phone up to your ear, trying to do stuff. But it wasn't that bad. I played about.
You can't watch a movie with closed caption and just read it.
See, I was trying to do that. I couldn't figure out how to hook up closed captioning on my phone.
Technology, huh?
Can you do that?
Yes, you can.
Really?
It's a little button right there on the screen while the movie is playing.
I didn't see that button.
Usually has a CC on it.
Yeah, well, there was none of that.
How much time did you spend at the bar?
Not that much, because
I mean, that could explain why you didn't see it.
No, because we weren't in San Diego all that long.
I mean, long enough to go downstairs, look for new earphones to buy, and find a bar that was packed.
Well, that was upstairs. I already found that as soon as we got off the plane. The best part about it was we got off the plane at one gate. The San Antonio gate was right next door. That was great.
Yeah, there's 5 gates to choose from. They were going to be close.
And it was right there, and the bar was right in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you go down, and I don't know where that went to, but I was afraid I was going to have to go through security again. So
TSA pre, you're fine.
Well, I didn't want to do it.
So you could have found some new headphones, but you didn't want to.
Well, I didn't want to look that hard. So
how many times did Maggie get the look or hear you bitch and that you didn't have headphones on that flight?
Not one.
Don't lie.
No.
Yeah, no look, no. Sternly, you did what?
Well, there might have been one in the Sacramento airport when this revelation came out.
And then you just stewed all the way home?
And I basically was told to relax. So I did.
Did you?
What are you going to
do?
I played about 500 games of solitaire, though. It was great.
You don't sound relaxed still.
I'm good now.
I mean, you got to go home and send a strongly worded email to the packing department.
I might have to do that. It's all good. I survived.
So you checked the carry-on?
No, the carry-on was there. The little round thing that she puts the stuff in, the earbuds, that was packed in the suitcase, which was somewhere down in the nether regions of the airplane.
3 days. How many suitcases did you take?
One. It was packed in the suitcase. It's just a little round thing.
You got a little carry-on for a weekend trip. You didn't need to check it. You just didn't want to drag it around the airport.
Have you been on a trip with my wife? It's like going with Rob Thompson. Are you kidding me?
I have. I've seen her travel.
Yeah. She's got to have her own suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
I can throw some stuff in there.
You get the one little pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all good. I survived.
Project Marvel. We keep hearing about the new Spurs downtown arena, the Wemby Center. It's bigger and more expansive than what we've been thinking, which was already going to be big.
Yeah.
The Express News did a hell of a job reporting on Project Marvel, as it's being dubbed, we'll dive into it and what it's going to cost you as a taxpayer. Coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you are having any issues with your air conditioner, maybe some plumbing problems at the house, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. At Quarter Moon, they are full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
94.1 FM.
Get the last water softener you'll ever own and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE Kinetico.
Visit KineticoSA.com.
Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
We're here with Jose Rios, attorney at the Gomez Law Firm. If you are injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, Jose, what's the first thing our listeners should do?
The first thing they should do is pick up the phone, call the Gomez Law Firm, or Google joegomezlaw.com.
Gomez Law has been protecting the people of our community for almost 50 years. They're the leader in personal injury law.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do carbon monoxide cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries.
But that's not all your firm does, Jose. Tell us a little more about other cases Gomez Law takes on and wins here in Texas.
Really anything that involves a personal injury and a third party that is responsible for causing that injury, we will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
I always do my best to prep for summer, but sometimes things just come up. And when they do, Kohl's and their great prices are always there for me. I just shopped their summer cyber sale and saved big on everything I was missing, like summer must-haves under $15, floor care essentials for 50% off, and kitchen appliances for 30% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. So no matter what happens the rest of the summer, I'll be ready. Thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Ryan Eagle. I'm Jason Minix. We want you to come to Las Vegas with us in August. Go to sasportstar.com for all the details and room discounts at Circa Las Vegas as we get ready for the Ultimate Sports Weekend, August 22nd through the 25th. The Blitz will be live at Circa Las Vegas that Thursday and Friday. Then, of course, we're sticking around for the weekend. We're going to have a whole lot of fun, and we want you to join us out there.
We always have a lot of fun in Vegas, but the last time we were at Circa, a lot of people went up with us. We had a great time. So join in on the fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Room discounts available at sasportstar.com for Circa Las Vegas and the D. Go out to Vegas with us. I mean, last time we went, a lot of you said, well, I want to go. Well, here's your invite.
And you've got plenty of time, right? I know the last time it was kind of a quick turnaround. This time it's not. You got plenty of time to make all those arrangements. So get it done.
In college football especially, it's an arms race with facilities.
Sure.
I just saw on Twitter, Texas State announces that they're going to install new field turf used by programs like Oregon, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Utah. The turf is up to 35 degrees cooler than some traditional services, part of the renovation of their performance center and the new weight room.
Well, they just got a big endorsement deal from some bank there. It's going to go on the name of that. And I don't know, I can't remember the exact price tag, but it was a pretty good influx of money for Texas State. So I'm sure they're using some of that and putting it to good use. But that's a good thing because, as you know, that AstroTurf gets hot.
Well, I want to know, how do they get it cooler? I'd be interested to know how that works, but obviously that's not cheap to have that kind of technology. I just really love what Texas State has done the last couple of years with G.J. Kinney, what he's been able to get done. Who was there before that? He wasn't there long. Why am I drawing a blank?
Because he wasn't there long.
Jake Spavital.
Hey, there you go. It was Jake.
Spav replaced, or Kenny replaced Spav?
Yeah.
I thought there was somebody in between there.
I don't think so.
But it's amazing how quickly that Texas State has seemingly turned things around, taking advantage of the portal, taking advantage of what NIL they have, but just the facilities and everything they're doing. Apparently, it's now called UFCU Stadium.
$23 million partnership for this bank or credit union, whatever it is. But yeah, it's a 15-year, $23 million partnership. So yeah, I could see a bunch of colleges doing that, especially smaller ones. You get somebody put the name on there and charge them $23 million.
Now, cities and pro teams, well, they will sell naming rights to a building, and whatever the Wemby Center, wherever it gets built downtown by the Institute of Texan Culture, it will still be the Frost Bank Center. I imagine that they put that in there, that if you move, the name changes, and then that building will become whatever.
Sure. Rodeo Central.
It could be.
Yeah.
The Express News over the weekend had quite an article that really puts what we've been talking about with the new Wemby Center on a grander scale than what we thought. And I say that because we've been talking about a new downtown arena and an entertainment district that goes with it. But what the Express News reports this weekend, with what they can report or have been able to dig up so far, it's so much bigger than what I think many of us were thinking it was going to be. It's more than just an arena and a couple of bars or restaurants right around it. In fact, very little is known because everybody has signed all these non-disclosure agreements, but through open records requests, they're able to get some info. And apparently the code name for this effort that the city leaders and whatnot are putting together is Project Marvel.
Project Marvel.
Project Marvel.
Wow.
And it is an elaborate sports and entertainment mecca, as they describe it in the Express News. Could cost billions of dollars, obviously, to build. If we're talking about $1 billion for the stadium, what about everything else that goes with it? Very interesting. And I love the fact that they are way further along on this than we realize.
Uh-huh.
And they need to be. My biggest question, how much taxpayer money is it going to take? How much do the Spurs actually own? How much does the city actually own? And who else is involved in it? Who are the big money people in town that are involved in it, or are they big money people not from town? I'd prefer them to be the in-town guys. And
it doesn't matter as long as the stadium's here. You want to invest your money from Austin or wherever, I don't care.
True, but there is just something still kind of in that old school mentality that if we knew that Red McCombs was a part of the project, we knew it's going to be fine. Right?
Sure.
And who are those big money players today? And we know there's some. The other part that I'm a little concerned about, how far down the road are we on this? Because right now, I do believe that we have a mayor in Ron Nuremberg that is very pro this kind of project. He is term limited out.
Yep.
So who is the next mayor going to be, and will they have that same kind of focus and support for it?
Well, I think the ball's already going to be rolling.
Well, it's got to be, but how far down the road?
Yeah, it's true. This article in the Express News is fantastic, by the way, and it claims by its sources. Now they're citing sources that Spurs Sports Entertainment is proposing to pay about 1/5 of the cost of a new arena.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and there's been reports that their arena would be $1.2 billion.
Yes. So I don't know what 1/5 of 1.2 billion is, but that's a lot. But
you're good at math.
It's still a lot more to be had if you're only talking 1/5.
Well, and again, the argument is always, why are we paying for billionaires to have something to play? But the cities get so much out of it.
Yes.
And I'm all for, depending on how the taxes go, that, if you don't do it, another city will. Seattle is looking for a team. Vegas is going to get a team. I just hope that the Spurs are good again by the time this all rolls around. It's hard to ask people for a new arena when you've won 22 games.
Well, look, it is, and they're going to get it done. And I don't have any issue that they're going to get it done. But I've always that argument that, wow, we're doing this for billionaires is ridiculous. This benefits the city. And I just go back to the Spurs run from 99 to 2014. The amount of publicity this city got, it was priceless. And the amount of money that was raised, and it was just to me, it's a no-brainer. These types of projects, yeah, you pay, but it's worth it, and the city will reap the benefits. There's no doubt.
Good read.
It is a good read. Now, Lloyd D says 1/5 of $1 billion is $200 million. So there you go. I'll take his word for it.
So if it's 1.2 billion, so what, 250 million?
So right, yeah. Okay.
Seems fair.
Sure, I guess. Why not?
I mean,
used to be you could build a pretty nice arena for that. 250 million.
Oh, used to be.
Used to be.
Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys for half of that.
I know. Isn't that nuts?
Essentially, you look at the doing this, and it's 24. It doesn't feel like it's that far off, but what is there, 6 years left on the lease?
Yeah.
Right.
2030.
Got to start breaking ground here pretty soon.
It would take probably 3-4 years maybe to build something like that. I have no idea, but I figure that's in the ballpark since we're talking ballparks.
True.
Arenas.
And the Missions ballpark looks like it's going to be kind of in that area where Fox Tech is.
Okay.
And not a part of this.
And that's another project. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. Don't even start with draft picks.
What are you talking
this
about?
Dude here,
here we go.
Sergio.
Distracted by the YouTube.
Sports District will be ready by 2031. That's why we have all those picks. That's sarcastic, Sergio.
Here we go.
To a degree.
He's being sarcastic.
You think? They're planning for the future in every which way?
Absolutely. Sure they are.
Yeah. Why is Joe down on that? All those draft picks. Let's talk about what the Spurs have done and could be doing. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, let's talk about the heat. It's hot. Boy, it's been really hot. And we had some rain over the weekend, I'm told. Pretty good downpour on Saturday night. Look, all of that takes a toll on your roof. It does, especially the heat. We can get out of the heat. It's not a problem. We get into the air conditioning, get in the shade. It's not a problem. Your roof can't do that. And over time, it can cause some problems. Look, if you think you've got an issue with your roof, or look, if you just want someone to come out and check it out to make sure that you're okay, you want to call the best. That is Stevens Roofing. They are absolutely the best in San Antonio and South Texas. They know what they're doing. They've been in business for a long time. They've got a lot of happy customers. You don't stay in business as long as Stevens Roofing has been in business if you're not doing something right. If you have a problem with your roof, or maybe it's just time for a replacement roof, maybe you want to upgrade your roof, doesn't matter. Stevens Roofing is the number you need to call, 210-785-0994. You can also get them online at stevensroofing.net. Doesn't matter whether it's if it's your house or you've got a business. They do commercial projects as well. Stevens Roofing does it all, and they stand by their work. Stevens Roofing, the best in the business. If you've got something going on with your roof, or you want to make sure there's nothing going on with your roof, have them come out and check it out. They're happy to do it. That phone number, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, A.J. Hoffman might return. I'm not sure. We'll look at where the Spurs are headed, and are you ready for the Olympics? Yeah, it's baseball season. We'll talk some baseball, too. Get here early. The fun starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Summer's greatest hits are going on now, and Macy's One-Day Sale has summer's greatest savings. Shop limited-time specials like 40 to 60% off everything for this weekend's Backyard Bash. From the Cellar Barbecue, Henkel's, and Tupperware. 40 to 70% off fine jewelry from Effie, Levion, and more. And 30 to 55% off bras, pajamas, and more basics. Hurry in. Our One-Day Sale starts Tuesday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. They're at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
This is Jim Rome, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. On YouTube, just subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel, all the various apps and devices. Glad to have you here on a Monday. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You were traveling for July 4th, so you didn't get to do any grilling, right?
I didn't do any grilling, no. And my son-in-law is, he has a Traeger, but it's not working right.
Really?
Apparently.
Oh.
That's what I was told.
He just knows you become a badass Traeger pitmaster.
I am a pitmaster.
He didn't want to embarrass himself with
exactly
you in town.
Probably. Yeah.
Figured you were paying anyway, so go out to eat.
Well, that's accurate. Yes. That is accurate.
My meter. So if you did some grilling over the last couple of days, then based on Facebook, you guys did. Make sure you take those same photos and upload them to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com. Every Thursday, we judge that meat and give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. And as I say that, a conversation that I heard on the radio this morning, a show that I've never listened to in the 5 o'clock hour before, the morning show that we have here. I don't even know what the hell it's called, but it was Chris Canty and whoever. Now, Chris Canty was in Chicago over the weekend. Although he does a morning show, he left early Sunday, got home on time, got rested. But he was talking about on my drive in this morning that he was in trouble with his in-laws. His wife's from Chicago. And he was bitching because they serve spaghetti at their barbecues.
Okay.
And he didn't think that should be allowed. That should not be a thing. And he's going through this whole deal, and he's like, is it regional? Because he was told in Chicago and in that part of the country, it's not a barbecue unless somebody's bringing spaghetti. And I'm thinking,
interesting.
Who the hell is bringing spaghetti to a barbecue?
Well, it depends.
Which is what he was thinking.
Is it just the noodles, or do you have the meat sauce on top?
Well,
there's a big difference.
So you think somebody just shows up with naked noodles?
Well, they could.
Of course.
You could cut some brisket, sprinkle it on there.
No,
barbecue sauce.
I think it's a meat, probably meat. The Italian influence there in Chicago is, and I'm thinking not just naked noodles.
Well, then why the hell do you need barbecue? I mean, that makes no sense.
Well, I mean, you go to a lot of barbecues and there's macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
Which is what he was expecting.
But that's a side dish. Spaghetti's a main dish.
Well, at the barbecue, it's a side.
See, that makes no sense.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to think. Who does spaghetti at a cookout? I mean, you're barbecuing. It's you're eating, and it's not the easiest thing to put on your plate with other stuff, especially if you're outside using paper plates, sitting on a lawn chair, and you got spaghetti.
Yeah,
and
I don't
meat
know.
sauce, you're going to get it all over you.
Well, I hope you don't use flimsy paper plates.
Well, I mean, I don't think
pull
you
out
can.
the Chinette.
You might have to have real plates if you've got spaghetti.
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
I just thought it was the oddest thing.
Well, yeah.
I would highly recommend if you did spaghetti at your barbecue, don't upload those photos to sasportstar.com.
If you did upload them, because I want to see, and we can laugh at you.
You probably won't win. Well, maybe.
You might win.
Actually, if you had spaghetti, we'll hook you up. Maybe. Because I thought that was just an odd thing to be listening to at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
Because I know, and he wasn't describing like barbecue spaghetti, which is a thing in Memphis.
Barbecue spaghetti.
Yes. And I tried it. We were in Memphis. It was like, well, everybody keeps telling me about this, and it was awful. It was spaghetti noodles with barbecue sauce and like chunks of, I don't know, ribs and brisket.
That doesn't sound bad.
It was awful.
Really?
It was awful because barbecue sauce doesn't stick to the noodle the way spaghetti sauce does.
Huh.
And it was just like a whole combination of what the hell is this?
But they're all tomato-y based, right? I mean,
to a degree, yeah.
Maybe you had the wrong barbecue sauce.
Dude, I was at the legendary place that serves it in Memphis.
I can see barbecue or spaghetti.
Fletch, will you Google
with brisket?
Memphis
I can see
barbecue spaghetti and just show Joe a picture of what we're talking about?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'd like to see
and you guys could play along at home by Googling the same way.
See, here's the problem. Unless you're in Texas, the barbecue sucks everywhere else. So you got to have something to distract people.
See, now that's very arrogant, yet accurate, yet not. Memphis has great barbecue.
Well, the ribs are good.
Yes. See, there are different parts, like you go to the Carolinas and their barbecue, Kansas barbecue, but barbecue spaghetti is one of those places. See, it even says right there, the first one up, a true Memphis original.
Yeah.
Does it say where that's from? I'm trying to remember where it was at in Memphis where I did this.
That actually doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad. It doesn't taste great.
Okay. Well, I would like to try it. I would like to try it, but it just goes to show you, look, if your brisket can't stand up on its own, then I'm sorry, you might have to have some spaghetti with it.
Doesn't it feel like if your brisket can't stand alone? I was at a place called the Barbecue Shop, because I just looked at photos, which has been around for forever. Although apparently I didn't take a picture of the food.
That good, huh?
The menu I've got.
The picture looks fantastic. He's got a little swirl on the fork there and with some brisket. I'm assuming that's what that is. It looks great.
It's
I would try that.
Yeah, see, those pictures look a lot better than what I remember.
Yeah,
I just remember
would try
thinking,
it.
well, this was a bad idea.
I would try that. I think it looks good. But again, don't tell me you're barbecuing and then you have spaghetti sitting on the side. I mean, one or the other.
So if you showed up, at a barbecue.
Uh-huh.
And the food's out, there's some brisket, there's some ribs, some sausage, burgers, whatever. And then you got a pot of spaghetti. You putting that on your plate?
No.
Macaroni and cheese.
Maybe.
Macaroni salad.
I like macaroni and cheese, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I prefer beans. If I'm eating barbecue, I want some good beans.
Like that were cooked outside or just open up a can in?
No, that were cooked.
All
I
right.
mean, I make a mean pot of beans, buddy.
You do?
I do.
Really?
I'm going to have to do that one of these days, maybe not, but and bring it in here.
Okay. And that's allowable.
Yeah, because I can. Yeah, beans are my go-to with any kind of barbecue, as long as they're good. Some places have bad beans, and then
this is true.
Some have really good ones.
But again, I'm not judging a place on bad beans because
I am.
I'm not. If the main event is whatever barbecue, and I don't like their beans, but I like their Q, I'm good. It's if I go to a place and they're more famous for their side dishes than the barbecue. I mean, how often do you say, "Hey, come on, let's go get some cream corn over at Rudy's"?
Well, you don't, but you got to have that.
Well, you don't say, "Let's go to Rudy's and get some brisket."
Well, maybe. You don't like their brisket?
It's a little dry.
Oh, stop it. Depends on which one you get.
What do you mean?
Don't you have the two choices? Oh, that's the barbecue station.
Yeah. Yeah. Marbled versus lean.
That's not dry at all.
I don't. If I'm choosing, it's never Rudy's. If other people are choosing, or if it's been catered,
it's a tourist place.
A lot of times, if I'm having Rudy's, it's because it's a catered event.
But that's kind of a tourist thing. You got people in from out of town. Let's go get some barbecue. We'll go to Rudy's. It's all right. I get it.
See, and then you get snooty people like what's his name on what's his real name? He's changed his name again. Rudolph. If you invite me to a barbecue, don't expect hamburgers and hot dogs.
Why?
Well, because that's apparently not a barbecue. That's just grilling.
Well,
I mean,
I bet you he'd eat.
Oh, he'd
That's
eat.
all there was.
I mean, unless yeah, he would eat.
And you got to have plenty of beer for old Rudy.
That's most of us. Paul says, do they smoke the spaghetti?
Interesting.
That's a great question. I don't know. I'm sure they just boil it. I don't know.
Wow, Paul Cantu's a little upset on our YouTube channel.
He says, where in the hell did you have Rudy's that it's not up to your standards?
Yeah, Minix, where'd you have it?
Well, Paul, that's a great question. The one out near Retama, the one in New Braunfels, the one out
151?
No, not 151. I don't think I've ever been there.
You haven't been to
the
that
one in Leon Springs?
Okay. I've been to the one on 151.
It's not that I don't. I mean, Rudy's is fine, but there's too many other options that I'm going to. Right? I've got to pass a lot of barbecue places that I prefer more than Rudy's to get to Rudy's.
All right.
Like I said, I will go, but it wouldn't be my choice. If you said, "Hey, man, we're going up here and let's meet at Rudy's," all right,
you'd be upset.
I wouldn't be upset. I mean, you're getting barbecue. You're never mad. But they're more famous for their cream corn than any of their barbecue dishes.
Well, that's true.
Right?
That's a good point.
I mean, and so when your side dish is what you're famous for, are you doing it wrong?
Well, they're not doing it wrong. I mean, look, that Rudy's is.
Oh, they're bad. So is McDonald's.
Well, yeah,
and that's their fast food barbecue without fast food prices.
Well,
because they're pricey.
It's like Bill Miller.
Yeah.
You're not going to Bill Miller for the barbecue.
You're not?
No.
What do you go for? Fried chicken?
Their chicken is better than anything they have.
That's true.
I mean, it really is.
And they actually have great breakfast tacos.
They do that.
Although
yes.
Rob Thompson was telling me this morning that their breakfast taco prices have gone up and the size of the tacos has gone down.
Well, that's a shame because typically it was pretty good. Stacked.
Yes.
Where the tortilla would break sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. According to Rob's description, because Rob did show up with breakfast tacos this morning from Palenque.
How about that?
And he said that he's, used to be like Bill Miller, like they used an ice cream scooper, and now they've got a little spoon and pull the tortilla over and say,
that's the other thing.
There you go.
At Bill Miller's, their potatoes.
Yeah.
Really good. But their barbecue, not so much. Chicken's fantastic.
Yeah, the sauce at Rudy's is fantastic.
It is.
The Rudy's fight going on now in the YouTube chat's kind of comical.
It is. Steeler Rob says Rudy's has rats. Let me break the news to you, buddy. Just about every restaurant has rats.
If they're outside, that's one thing.
Exactly. You see those little black boxes you go to restaurants or anywhere else? Those are for rats. Most places have a rat problem. Or you just want to keep them outside.
I mean, but you realize why, right?
Well, because there's food inside. That's why.
And all those trucks that come in with stuff sometimes bring them. So
they do.
As long as they're taking care of them.
Again, dude, I don't want to see what's happening in the kitchen. If the food is good, I don't give a damn what's back there. Just serve me up, and as long as I'm not sitting on the pot for 3 days. If the food is good, no problem. Rat away. I just don't want to see it. Exactly. just keep it a secret, and I'm all right with you. I'll never forget the first time I said, what are those black boxes all over this place? Well, it's for rats. I'm like, okay.
When the light bulb goes off for Joe, it is an incredible moment.
So now I know.
Now you know. Like everybody's known that. You probably learned that when you were 5.
I don't think they had those. They just let the rats run when I was 5. It was like, whatever.
Alice, Texas, ladies and gentlemen.
That's exactly right.
Uh-huh. Man.
Wow. People People like their restaurants, and they'll fight for them.
Well, they will.
I like that. That's good. Good for y'all. I don't know. Eric Robinson says, "Really, Joe? Bill Miller's?
Bill Miller's is fine.
I just said the barbecue's not so good.
The fried chicken, but those chopped sandwiches when you're in a hurry.
Chopped sandwiches. Now, hey, I'll bring Pledge some of those.
Well, I mean, yeah, because you're feeding the kid cheap.
Well, yeah, but it's quick.
Yes, unless
you
it's not.
You can get 6 of those guys and for about $20 with fries.
And I think Lloyd just proves the point. Before I moved to San Antonio, I came out to visit my parents and took 2 bottles of the sauce home.
Sauce is good
because it's kind of a touristy thing.
Yeah.
And again, if it's there, I'm going to eat it. It's barbecue.
Right.
But if I'm going out,
Rudy's is not your first choice.
Well, is there? No.
Right.
I mean, I would pass conservatively 3 or 4, maybe 5 barbecue joints that I would rather go to get to the Rudy's.
See, I don't know, where those barbecue places are. Now, I know
you got to get out some. We've already proven that.
That barbecue station is fantastic.
When you started here, you knew 4 whole restaurants in this city.
Pinkerton's is great. I still want to go to Fred's Fish Fry.
No, we don't.
We got to have a meeting anyway, you and I. We were talking about it. I think a good lunch at Fred's.
Yeah, planned football season.
Would be good.
As long as you don't bring it back and heat it up in the microwave.
Jeez. Yeah.
Grumpy-ass Greg Shelton, our crack engineer, heated up fish.
And then he eats it like he's Jethro, the Beverly Hillbillies.
In the microwave today. We're sitting in the office. I'm eating a half-serious sandwich from Zito's. And, yeah, sorry, Pledge, I didn't bring you one.
No, but those are delicious.
Oh, they are delicious, but you don't like them because there's onions and olives and all kinds of stuff on them that you don't like. and I'm glad I didn't text you to see if you wanted lunch today. And I'm because I get there, their internet's down. It was cash only.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the line was long, although they were writing down people's credit cards and doing all that kind of stuff. We'll run them when the internet's back up. And here's cash.
With a nice tip.
Here's cash. Exactly. Shelton heats up fish in the microwave. We're in the office and Joe's like, what's that smell?
Yeah.
And starts did I leave food in my desk? And I'm like, dude, I've been in here since not in the office since 5 a.m., but I didn't go anywhere except for grab lunch after the morning show. And I was like, dude, I smell it now too. And you're checking, did a rat die on my desk while you were on vacation? Did something? Well, and then you realize Shelton had heated up fish. You go into the break room, and now you got to imagine Greg Shelton. And if you've seen him, you've been out to any of our events, he's not a little guy.
No.
He's short, but he's not a little guy. And so he's sitting at the table, and he's wearing a red polo, and he's got 2 napkins stuffed into his collar, so he doesn't spill all over himself, and he knows himself. And for some reason, he's got his goofy glasses on with his hat because he's watching TV on his iPad with the biggest thermos that any man could carry right next to him while he is eating the fish out of the bowl. And apparently he had some oils in there, so that's what he was worried about getting all over his shirt. But watching him eat was almost as bad as watching James Pledger eat.
I didn't take him for a fish guy.
What's a fish guy?
Well, a fish guy.
What's a fish guy?
Greg Shelton. Well, a fish guy is a fish guy.
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't think he's like. I can't see Greg Shelton slaving over a stove cooking fish.
You think he did? That was leftovers from somewhere.
Well, I'm just saying. No, he had it in a nice Tupperware thing. Homemade.
At one point, it probably came home in a styrofoam box, and then
he made that.
You think he made that?
I think or somebody made it for him.
Well, ain't nobody cooking for that dude. So I mean, he went out to Calaveras Lake and caught something.
I didn't see Shelton as a fish guy. I saw him, he'd like eating goulash or something.
Goulash.
How Shelton is.
Frozen Swedish meatballs.
Right, something like that.
Yeah, no,
but not fish.
No, but dude, he's the engineer here. He should know the rules of the building, and one of the rules of any office is you don't heat up fish in the microwave in the break room.
He didn't give a damn.
He never does. But the whole time we were giving him crap about heating up fish, His fork was nonstop. He doesn't look up from his TV show, yet he somehow continues to bitch and tell us to bleep off and leave him alone. And he wants to enjoy his lunch, and he barely acknowledges the presence as he's just continuing to shovel food.
Because he basically said, I don't really give a damn what y'all think. Or
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
My question is he just doing that at all times, whether people are around or not? That way we're just catching when he's complaining about us. But is he just always doing it to where people just don't bother him at all times?
Well, he does not like people. And so if he can get people to leave him alone and let him eat in peace, as he told us, he would probably prefer that.
Well, that's why he told us to
beep off.
Peace out.
Mm-hmm. Spurs making some moves. We're actually going to talk about it, I think, coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, I'm going to talk about Parkhurst New Vision. Love talking about Parkhurst New Vision because, well, it changed my life. I mean, I see better now than I've seen in 30 years. And you know the story. It's a little over a year ago now. I had lens replacement surgery. And what is so cool about it now is I feel like I'm a part of a community. And the reason I feel that way is because I check out their social media, and it seems like every day there are more and more and more people just singing the praises of Dr. Parkhurst and his staff at Parkhurst New Vision, because they're changing lives each and every day. And look, you can be a member of that community as well. All you have to do is get the ball rolling, and that's easy to do. Call them, 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. When you give them a call at 210-585-2020, you're going to set up your initial consultation. When you do that, you go in, let them know that Joe Reinigle from the Blitz sent you over there. Then you ask any question that you have. They'll walk you through the process, and it's really that simple. Not to mention the fact you're going to feel like family as soon as you walk through the door over there. Parkhurst New Vision, best in the business. Let them do for you what they've done for me and so many other people here in San Antonio and South Texas. Call Parkhurst New Vision. Do it soon. Get it done. You'll wonder why it took you so long. 210-585-2020.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
George gets justice. Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Maybe it's time to ask your checking account. What have you done for me lately? My Advantage Checking from Generations Federal Credit Union does more. My Advantage Checking pays you 2 days early, plus shopping rewards, identity protection, and much more. My Advantage Checking treats you right. So make the switch. Learn more at Generations Federal Credit Union. Member owned, community grown. Member eligibility requirements apply. For complete terms and conditions, visit mygenfcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment. Not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, Bring it on. Been there, done that. We've got your back without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
O'Reilly. Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 15% off a set of Brake Best Select, Select Pro, or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Restore quality braking and improve stopping performance with parts and advice from the professional parts people. Save money now when you visit O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, are the Spurs done in free agency after they made a big splash over the weekend as a third team in a 3-team trade? DeMar DeRozan goes to Sacramento from Chicago. San Antonio gets veteran forward Harrison Barnes and an unprotected 2031 pick swap from the Kings. Well, today the Spurs renounced the rights to Dominick Barlow, David Duke Jr., Sandro Mamukelashvili, and Cedi Osman. I've been doing so good.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's
Dude.
Joe Reinagel.
I was batting 1,000. Sandro Mamu.
You could have just said Mamu. You said Mamu, and everybody knows who you're talking about.
But I said it. I enjoy saying it, actually.
Really? Let's hear it.
Yeah. Now I'm on the spot. Here we go. Kelashvili.
What?
Yes. Mamu. Kelashvili. Sandro. Anyway, he's no longer a Spur, at least for the moment. Doesn't mean he can't come back, but as of now, he's not. They renounced the rights to him.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
Yeah, so there you go.
It happens.
Well, they still needed a few bucks for Chris Paul.
Well,
my understanding. So
Chris Paul is fine.
Well, now he is.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Still don't know what number he's going to wear.
He's going to wear whatever number he wants. I mean, seriously, do you think that, Keldon Johnson, it's Chris Paul. He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a rental.
Well,
he's here for a year.
He is.
If you're Keldon Johnson, you don't give up your number for a guy that's here on a short-term contract.
Well, Keldon Johnson better hope he's here for a year.
Well, the number whenever they do the introductory press conference with
Tomorrow,
Chris Paul.
I think, yeah.
Well, I haven't seen anything officially from the Spurs.
That either. No.
I saw Don Harris did tweet out he expects it to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Expects being the key word.
Uh-huh.
And it wouldn't surprise me if the Spurs sent out something at 8 or 9 o'clock that says, "Hey, tomorrow morning at 9:12, this is when this is going to be," and then the thing will get going at 11. But if they give him a jersey tomorrow, and you would think that they would,
they usually do.
Will he have a number?
Well, sure, he'll have a number.
Yeah. Will it be 3 or will it be 13 or
he'll have to change
23?
his entire shtick. I mean, he's been CP3 for his entire career.
So is Keldon Johnson.
What would you call him? KJ3?
Well, I mean, he's been number 3. That's his number.
Yeah, but he's not a Hall of Famer.
Well,
look, everybody knows how I feel about this Chris Paul thing. I still don't understand it completely. But, I mean, the guy, he does have my respect, and he's a Hall of Famer. So if he wants number 3, shouldn't be an issue.
I disagree. And honestly, as long as Keldon is on the roster, unless he chooses to sell number 3, and, poor Chris Paul is only getting $11 million this year. How much is the number 3 jersey worth?
$11 million.
All right, you get your jersey, but you're playing for free.
I think Chris Paul's doing just fine.
If I'm Keldon, I need $3 million to get number 3.
Wow.
Because 3 is important to me.
He won't be invited to the Hall of Fame ceremony.
He probably won't anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think Chris Paul can name every one of his teammates?
No.
And do you think all those teammates are going to the Hall of Fame ceremony?
There's got to be some respect. I mean, my goodness.
Doesn't it go both ways?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, hey, Keldon, I know you've been here a long time. You wore number 3 in college. You wore number 3 here. But I'm taking number 3.
Yes. Until you're a Hall of Famer, then and can call your own shots, then yeah, I'm taking the number.
Do you think that was part of his negotiating when he agreed to come to San Antonio?
I would. Not sure exactly what he and Pop talked about, but if Chris Paul wants another number, that's fine. But if he wants number 3, I mean, just out of respect, if you're Keldon Johnson, you give it to him.
Out of respect.
Of course. I mean, Chris Paul is NBA royalty, for goodness sake.
I mean, Brandon Paul wore number 3.
Yeah, who? What?
Brandon Paul.
Uh-huh.
So we've already had a Paul wearing number 3, and the Spurs want to sell as many jerseys as they can.
They do.
So the 18 people that have a number 3 Brandon Paul jersey won't have to go buy a Chris Paul jersey. So I think he'll end up with a new number.
I don't think so. And that's what he wants.
How many teams is this for Chris Paul?
Wow, 6? I'd have to look. I've lost count.
You can't have 6. That's in the Raptors.
No, you can't have that.
Although could Avery
could
loan it for a year?
Bruce Bowen did that
for LaMarcus.
Marcus Aldridge.
Yeah. See, that could happen.
He's not CP6. He's CP3.
CP6 teams.
He wants
CP6 man. He's going to start.
If the dude wants 3, then Keldon, be respectful of NBA royalty and give him the number.
Dude, I just match paychecks. Keldon wins.
Well, let's match bank accounts, and Keldon doesn't win. I think, Mr. Paul wins that going away.
Well, probably. I mean, through time, Chris Paul has probably paid more in taxes than Keldon Johnson has made in his NBA career.
You're probably right about that. The time with the Clippers and yeah.
So I'm very curious to see how they handle the number situation.
Now, Chris Orozco on our YouTube channel says it's his 7th team. The Spurs will be
CP7.
So I was right there.
CP6 in the rear view. I mean, we could work that 6. I could see.
Wasn't Carl Herrera number 7 for the Spurs? Can't give that number away.
Where is Carl now?
I don't know.
I mean, that's being honest.
A Carl Herrera reference. Who knew we were going to have that on the Blitz today?
Not you. I mean, you look at it, he could be 33. We don't have a 33, do we, right now?
Wasn't that Antonio Daniels?
It was at one point, but Antonio's not with the Spurs right now.
No.
It's Boris Diaw, too, wasn't it?
Boris Diaw might have been.
It could be 23.
No.
Well, why not? I mean, Devin Brown means that much to you as a Spur?
Yes. I mean, just think of what Devin Brown did. Fox Tech,
San Antonio
UTSA,
Sports Hall of Famer,
San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an accomplishment. Who else has done that? Just stayed in one city your entire career, although he went somewhere else.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean,
I'm
in New
saying,
Orleans, Utah. He bounced around the NBA, but he is an NBA San Antonio Spurs champion.
Look, if Chris Paul wants number 3, then Keldon Johnson needs to have some respect.
No.
And give it to, yes.
Not for a year.
Yes, it's just for a year. And Keldon Johnson going to be somewhere else anyway.
Well, until I see the Keldon tribute video, he gets number 3.
Well, he doesn't.
So you're telling me that before the press conference tomorrow, Keldon's getting traded?
It's possible.
See, now, if that happens, I'm
You're
with you.
okay with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
I mean, if Keldon's part of the long-term plans here, you can't mess with his number.
Well, if he's part of their long-term plan.
So you think if Chris Paul gets 3 tomorrow, we know Keldon is on his way out?
No, or Keldon just has respect for his elders.
Was it respect for his elbows, or was he
obviously something you don't have?
Well, no. The idea that the birthday boy Jack Thompson just sent me a funny text.
He did, huh?
Yeah, his mother is out to embarrass him
That's,
on his birthday.
She did.
If you're watching on YouTube, there is a wonderful photo of Jack Thompson that his mother posted today for his birthday.
I know.
Now I realize that Jack playing a game is taking photos inside my house. He wants to play that game. Because I've got a great photo of me with a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader on the sidelines when I was in high school with the mullet flowing big time. Bad mustache that worked with my fake ID back in the day. It's good stuff. So, yeah.
Dude, I've got a picture of one of my daughters that we used to embarrass the hell out of her.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'll have to find it and show it to you.
Which daughter?
Cassidy.
Uh-huh.
When she was a swimmer in high school. It's hilarious.
And why?
Well, because she's got the swim hat on with the goggles, and I think she was doing it just to be funny, and it's goofy as hell.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. That's what it boils down to, right?
Exactly. I love embarrassing kids.
Yeah.
Love it.
As adults, that's what we're there
Dude,
for.
it's the best thing about being.
And you pass that along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It is. You're not overly excited about the Spurs trade over the weekend, right?
I mean, what's to get excited about? Look, I'm glad that he's a good veteran player. He's solid. He plays. I think he played all 82 games last year. I think he'll come in here and add some toughness to this team. I have no issue with it. It doesn't show a direction as far as I'm concerned as to what's happening. Is it just, are they treading water right now? I think just getting to that magical year of 2025.
Well, that is next year.
Yes.
And what they did in that trade helps this team without messing up the future plan. We'll go into detail on it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When you need an electrician, you know Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my house through the years. They've added extra outlets in the garage, big old spotlight over one of the grills outside, even dimmer lights in the living room. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. And never a service charge, always free estimates. So it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. So call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or go online, hill-electric.com.
San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, living here in San Antonio and South Texas, a water softener is almost a requirement. The water is hard. You know this. It affects your appliances and all of that kind of stuff. And the best water softener to buy is a Connecticut quality water softener. Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. They're made in America, up to 80% more efficient than competing models. Got a simple design, fewer moving parts, and the best thing about it is there's nothing to plug in. There won't be an increase in your electric bill. Connecticut quality water softeners are the best in the business, and right now they have got the best deal for you. Connecticut is going to let you try a quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. Call them today. 656-PURE. That's 656-7873 or ConnecticutSA.com. You know the jingle. Sing it with me. Connecticut, the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
I always do my best to prep for summer, but sometimes things just come up. And when they do, Kohl's and their great prices are always there for me. I just shot their summer cyber sale and saved big on everything I was missing, like summer must-haves under $15, floor care essentials for 50% off, and kitchen appliances for 30% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. So no matter what happens the rest of the summer, I'll be ready. Thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
Jane, I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
Or being a dog person and a cat person.
Who wants a treat? Who's a good boy?
Or like being an extrovert and an introvert.
Woo! This is so fun! I can't wait to go home!
At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose. You can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how much you can save with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, when you switch, you can keep your phone and we'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device, credit service, and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
The Morning Huddle.
Post-shower helicopter is one of the great things in life.
So you don't helicopter in front of your wife?
Well, I do.
Okay.
The helicopter happens twice.
You want to make sure your propellers are long enough to get,
make sure that
things up in the air. You have to prepare for takeoff.
Exactly right. There's a pre-flight ritual that we have to go through.
We call them checks.
So the pre-flight check, that's when the splatter occurs.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
See if AJ makes it back from Vegas after he got stranded there yesterday.
Stranded in Vegas, huh?
Stranded.
Wow.
That was the message.
How do you get stranded in Vegas?
You book a flight through Houston. And you wait until the very last minute to say, sorry, boys, I got to spend another night at the house because I can't get home.
I ran into somebody in San Diego that was coming from Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. No problem. Got home with me.
Well, she was on Southwest.
Yes. So I'm still looking for that picture.
AJ goes with United.
Oh, well, there you go. That explains a lot.
Now, I'm sure that United probably had options that could have gone through another city than Houston.
Yeah.
If you would have planned ahead because, oh, crap, a hurricane's coming. That could affect me getting home and getting back to work.
Well, I actually checked that. We were talking about it on Friday. Just in case. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And kind of looked into some other options.
Because your wife had an 8:30 meeting this morning.
She
had to
did.
be at.
Yes. Yeah. 8:30 meeting. Yeah. She was at it.
Responsible adult.
That's what it's all about.
It really is.
Responsibility.
I mean, if you just wanted the extra day, take it.
Take it. It would be no problem.
Could have planned ahead.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. The Spurs are planning ahead. To some people, planning too far ahead because they're worried about the now, the microwave society that we live in. You don't want to think about, the brisket that's hours down the way or 2030 and 2031. You want to know, you want something right now. But you don't do ribs in the microwave. Those aren't good. So you've got to let things take their time. Spurs make what I thought was a brilliant move over the weekend. Brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, this is great front office work by Brian Wright.
Explain the brilliance of Mr. Wright.
Well, you got $70 million for DeMar DeRozan. You get a solid veteran starting player.
Okay.
Another veteran player from Sacramento.
Uh-huh.
You get their pick swap in 2031 that's unprotected. And you've made this year's team better without giving up much. And you don't affect your future plans that, or for 25 and beyond, or your quest for a Lauri Markkanen, so you were able to make quite the roster move without screwing up any of what your future plans could be. To me, that was brilliant GMing done by the Spurs front
Brilliant
office.
GMing. First of all, I'm not sure how much better it makes this team. I mean, better than 22 wins? Yes.
There you go.
Yes, of course it does. I'm not sure that it's playoff bound or even play-in bound at this juncture. It could be, but it's not because of Chris Paul or Harrison Barnes. It's because of that dude named Wemby.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, he's going to be he's going to be good. Look, if you want to keep all your powder dry, not take a shot because you're worried about 2031, okay, that's fine.
They're not worried about 2031.
Well, that's what you just said.
They're prepared for 2031.
Oh, I see. So
And
between
2030.
now and 2031, we're just going to hoard that in the closet. Just keep it there, nice and dry. We've got this here. Don't worry about the future because that 10-year-old that is hanging out playing basketball at the wherever at this point, he's going to be good. He's the next Wemby.
Well, I mean,
he's the next Bronny.
He's going to be somewhere in between those two. I can promise you that. The idea, though, that you've got that trade capital for down the road for whatever big moves you want to try to make.
Yes.
You have that. You also have capital for when you expect to be really good again, right, with Wemby. You expect to be really good again and not picking anywhere near the top of the lottery.
Okay.
And you think about 2030, 2031, so 6-7 years from now, Wemby's going to be 25, 26 years old.
Okay.
And you've got draft capital to help keep that train going.
Yeah, and you hope Wemby's still here at that time.
Well, of course you hope Wemby's still here.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
making
just
all your plans
Just
around
saying.
Wemby here
Wanted
being
to throw
a lifer.
that fact in there.
I mean, you want to go with the wet blanket approach?
No,
Yes.
I'm just stating a fact.
All right. Well, let's look at it this way then. Say Wemby isn't here. Project Marvel turns out not to be marvelous, and there is no new Wemby center, and he decides he wants to bolt and go to Cleveland. So all of a sudden, now Wemby's gone. What are you going to do? Well, you got all these picks to start over again. So you really do have your ass covered no matter what. I mean, if you want to go down that road, this is even smart. This is planning for the best and worst case scenario, is it not?
Well, what my theory is on this and why they're semi-tanking this year, and that's what they're doing. They're
To a degree.
semi-tanking. Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
Basically, because look,
If you're going to tank, you tank all the way.
I think
you don't half-ass tank.
Well, I mean, you're
I mean,
obviously
what
you're
does a
rooting.
half-ass
You're rooting
tank
for
get
it.
you?
Well, you tank and because you Wemby is he's learning, I guess, from Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes. So I'm guessing that's what that's all about. So you let him do that, and then you've got the magical year of 2025.
It's coming up.
Where you've got, I don't know, I guess it's the best draft in the history of NBA drafts, apparently, from what I hear. Heard that at the airport last night from a couple of guys. Oh, man, this draft coming up, it's unbelievable.
It's supposed to be good.
You've got some free agents, too, next year.
Yeah.
That you can go after and make some moves for. I just look, again, the Chris Paul deal, I still don't really understand it. I know I'm in the big-time minority there. That's fine. The Harrison Barnes deal, again, a veteran here that can help move some of these young kids along. I get that. It just doesn't move the cart down the road. So it has to be that they're just going to get through this year and figure out what they're going to do in 2025, and that's going to start the rebuild process.
It's the brisket, is it not?
I'm not sure I like that analogy, but yeah, okay, if you want to use that, that's fine.
It's the long-term approach. They're to just with what they have told us about not skipping steps, about being cautiously aggressive.
Well, they haven't done that yet.
Well, I think they've made a couple of moves that are cautious.
Yes,
they've made the team,
but not
better.
Aggressive.
They've made the team better this year. Well, until the Lauri Markkanen deal is officially dead, I'm not ready to say that ship has sailed.
Okay, well,
and the moves that they are making make it feel like they are very much still alive for Lauri Markkanen. I look at, Sacramento was supposedly in on Lauri Markkanen. They've made some moves that make you go, well, are they? Same with Golden State. Miami could be in the mix.
No, I think now Sacramento's out.
There's some contract stuff. So everything that they have done has made this team better. Define better. Are they a championship team? No. Were they going to be a championship contending team this year anyway? No. But do you see improvement coming from this year's squad, adding guys like they did with Barnes and with Chris Paul?
They're going to be better. I mean, it's going to be hard to be worse, right? I mean, it really is.
And hell, I thought they were going to be better last year, just taking a team that won the lottery and you added a guy like Wemby. I thought they would be far better, especially the year before when it felt like they lost 10, 12 games that they probably could have won if they were trying to win. So in last year, the whole Sohan deal at point guard cost them any opportunity of being better. So we really don't know how good or bad that group really was. And that includes Keldon and Devin Vassell.
Well, no, they were really good after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
I mean, they were really good after the All-Star break. Once Wemby got his feet underneath him, once guys like Devin Vassell figured out how to play with a guy like that, which took some time. Like I'm again all for adding veterans. My issue is with these two guys. Well, I think that will help. Yes, I think having those guys on the floor, directing some of these young guys around. So it tells me a couple of things. Are the Spurs content with the Devin Vassells, the Keldon Johnsons, the Jeremy Sohans? Are they moving forward in the future with those guys? Are they a long-term team together? It tells me that maybe they're thinking that that's the case, or they're saving one or two of those guys for a big deal next year.
Yes.
Problem is, I would like the veteran presence here, but I would have liked to have some veterans that can grow with this group, if that's the case, and move forward with that. Because basically what you're going to do, you got this year and you're starting over next year. With the rebuild. That's exactly what you're doing.
I don't know that I'd couch it as starting over.
Well, Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul aren't a part of your future.
Well, Barnes has 2 years left on his deal.
He's not part
of the long-term future, but Chris Paul could get traded by the deadline to go to a championship contender. That wouldn't surprise me.
So could Harrison Barnes, for that matter.
And so could Harrison Barnes, either this trade deadline or next trade deadline when he's got an expiring deal. There are just more pieces that the front office can move at a later rate. They're not long-term plans. And it does, what I'm hearing from you is you want to see a good group that can grow together for long-term.
Yes, it's exactly what I'd like to see. I'd like to see, yes, I've always been calling for veteran players to come in. They brought that in. I got my wish.
They're too veteran.
But these guys are really veteran, and they're not part of the future. That's it. If you've got a team in here,
they help bridge the gap until you get to where you're going.
Well, and where is that? Where is that? Because again, you can make all the plans you want for 2025 and beyond. And that doesn't mean that those plans are going to come to fruition. It doesn't. So all I'm saying is, look, start putting a team together that can grow together. Because obviously it's not that easy, at least what we saw from this year's squad, to play with a guy like Victor Wembanyama, where he likes the ball. Chris Paul's going to know that. for the 24 minutes a game that he plays. He's going to know that. And then I guess you've got Trey Jones who will know that as well. And is he your point guard of the future? And you've got Stephon Castle. Look, I just want to see this team grow together. But I still think, as it stands now, they need some pieces. And those pieces they don't have, at least not for the long term.
The Spurs just sent a press release making the Harrison Barnes trade official. Everything in here, except for in the preceding move, the Spurs have waived Charles Bassey.
Okay.
Which can't really be much of a surprise. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Robert wants to talk about the Barnes trade. Robert, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm just, gosh. Ronald's like one of them weekend fans, just jumps on the bandwagon when he thinks they're good. Doesn't know what he's talking about, man.
And you do, I'm sure, because you're a genius, right, Robert?
I know a hell lot more you do, Joe, Mr. Rodney, a lot more.
Okay.
First of all, Brian Wright already told us. He doesn't want to be good for 5 years. He wants to be good for the next 15 years, all during Wimby's tenure. The first thing we drafted Stephon Castle. You talk about growing together. He's 19 years old. This guy's going to be a stud.
You know that for a fact, huh? You know that for a fact?
Well, I tell you, as good as anybody in that draft, I tell you right now.
I'm just wondering, if you know that for a fact, I'd like to know where you're getting your information from.
But I'm saying, but you got to draft somebody, right? I'm saying you have draft capital. You use your fourth pick on that, okay? Then you got Chris Paul. He's going to make him a whole lot better. He's going to make the whole team, like you're talking about, that guys got to figure out how to give the ball to Wimby. He's going to do that tremendously. Leadership. Teach Stephon, helps maybe Stephon Castles, Trey Jones learned the things about the point guard. And third of all, the trade this weekend was tremendous. You got a guy shooting 38% from the three-point line. We need three-point shooting. A veteran guy knows how to play, both ends of the court, can score from three different spots, driving, spotting up, or shooting the three.
Okay.
And you got him for a second-round pick and Devontae Graham. Yeah, we might not be championship contenders next year, but that wasn't really the plan. We got better. We would have been better just for getting nobody. We got three different guys going to be part of the rotation. Paul, Castle, and Harrison Barnes. Then we got unprotected pick in 31, 2 unprotected pick swaps for the future. And who says we have to wait till the end to use them?
That's it. It's a draft commodity, Robert. Again, it's a collection of picks. It's stuff they can use to get better in the future. I like the trade.
I just look, if just getting better this year, if that's what matters, that's the goal to you, great. Fantastic, because that happened. This team will be better this year. I want a team.
You're tired of losing. You're tired of not being in the playoffs.
15 years. This guy, so all of this is going to go out to 15 years of Spurs being great.
I said 20 earlier. Robert's cutting them short.
You said 20 years?
I think they're on a nice 20-year run plan.
I just want to know where Robert gets his info that Stephon Kessel's going to be a stud.
Well, he was listening to the Blitz on Friday, and he saw his summer league debut, and that's all it took.
Well, I'm just wondering because I hope he's right.
Games at UConn during the tournament.
I don't have to worry. I don't have to.
You're good.
Hey, I was worried.
Stress.
Yeah, Robert says Castle's going to be a stud. Mm-hmm. Hey, thanks, Robert. Appreciate you. All the Spurs fans, I love you. I really do. But we all need a dose of reality sometime because not everybody and not everything that the Spurs do is magically going to turn into gold. It just doesn't. So, I hope it all does. I hope we all sprinkle fairy dust on everything and it comes up roses and unicorns and rainbows. But it doesn't always happen that way. And I love Spurs fans because, boy, I tell you what, whatever the front office does, it's solid. No mistakes made.
And it's so mixed. There's a Bobby Signs on YouTube. Brian Wrong doesn't have the stones to make a big deal. Referring to Brian Wright, obviously.
Yes.
And what I really love about Spurs fans with the front office, because we do have a general manager now that has the title. They do everything together.
Absolutely.
And so when things work, Pop and RC get all the credit. And when they're bad, Brian Wright needs to be fired. And the one thing we know about this front office, they don't get fired. I saw Mike Finger tweet something like that the other day when one of the national guys from CBS was like, why does anybody do business with the Spurs and a couple other teams? Because those GMs just always win. And Mike Finger wrote, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't have it in front of me, but essentially it's a lot easier to make deals like that for like 2031 when you know you're not getting fired, because the Spurs don't fire anybody.
Right.
Where the GM that's making that deal, 2031, because if I don't get it right now, I won't be here in 2031.
Exactly
That's
right.
somebody else's problem.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So,
that's it.
God bless y'all. All right.
Well, you're lit up the phone lines with your rainbow talk.
Yes.
We'll talk about
Well,
it.
everybody's happy.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they? Sounds like a fun conversation that we've had many times over at the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. And I tell you what, if you're looking for a place to go watch any big game, argue with your friends, have a cold beer and a great meal, no better place than the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And that's one of the great things about the Roo, because they'll have games on with sound, but you can always have a conversation, whether it's a regular conversation or if Ryan goes around, it's going to turn into a heated conversation. But you can have that conversation there at the Roo over that great food. Maybe you want the biggest and best wings in town. They've got them there at the Roo Pub. About 15 different burgers on the menu. Great appetizers, great salads, I'm told. And that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So when you need that late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game and talk sense into your friends. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, A.J. Hoffman might return. I'm not sure. We'll look at where the Spurs are headed, and are you ready for the Olympics? Yeah, it's baseball season. We'll talk some baseball, too. Get here early. The fun starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Who doesn't love pizza, cold beer, and something sweet for dessert? Unfortunately, your liver doesn't. Liver stress can cause low energy, restless sleep, and an expanding waistline. Protect your liver and get a daily detox with Active Liver from New Nordic. Available in tablet or delicious gummy, Active Liver's high-quality ingredients, like milk thistle and turmeric extracts, are proven to keep your liver healthy and you feeling your best. Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Walmart.com, or NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnick. You heard that commercial there for Circa Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Derek Stevens, the owner of Circa, telling you about those two contests. I'll tell you, come join us out there for the ultimate sports weekend at Circa Las Vegas. The Blitz is going to be live out there August 22nd and 23rd. We're staying for the weekend. You guys can join us. There is a link at sasportstar.com that has discounted rooms at both Circa and the D, and information on the Ultimate Sports Contest weekend, which is Circa Survivor and Circa Million, both fun contests that you can enter in Nevada but play from anywhere. So go to Vegas, and we want you to go the weekend. We're going to be out there, but if you're out there anytime between now and the start of football season, you can get registered for those contests, which are incredible.
Yeah, it's really incredible the way to do that. Although you have to enter in Las Vegas, you can play from anywhere, and that's always a lot of fun. Give you something else to watch the NFL for, and it's a lot of fun. So come on out with us, man. We had a great time. We go back in April.
Yep,
and had a great time. Had some listeners go out there with us then, and we'd like, man, to fill that place up and just San Antonio in the house.
Yeah. Huh. Whatever that means. So apparently, if your name is Jay or starts with the letter J, you have been inspired to call in. As I look at our call screen, we've got a Jordan, a Jesse, a Joshua, and a James, all waiting on hold right now to yell at Joe.
Yes.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Now, apparently not everybody is going to yell at Joe. Let's go to Joshua first, because it says on the call screen, Joe might be right. Might is the key word there. Joshua, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, Jason, thank you very much. Again, I think Joe might be onto something. The Spurs right now have the Atlanta unprotected pick. If you did listen to Pledge on Extra Innings with Pledger last Friday, right after the great Blitz show that you hosted alone, because, Joe wants to go and have a vacation in a life. Whatever. What a weird guy.
I know it. A selfish dude.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He also mentioned that Atlanta might not be that bad. They had 2 point guards, which were DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. Now you get rid of one of them in Murray, and now you got Trae Young facilitating the offense. Atlanta has no reason to tank, so now they're going to be in it to win it.
Well,
they were
you say that, and this is where I disagree with Pledge. The idea is, and to steal a line from Joe Reinagel, we just don't know, right?
We don't.
Mean, they had Trae Young and DeJounte last year, and we're still 10 games under 500. They were the 10th seed in the East. And you know what? I know they had that 1 year with Trae where they were really good. Outside of that, it's been a dumpster fire.
But
and
nobody's interested in him either. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. So, it's certainly not at the asking price. I don't know that Trae Young starts the year in Atlanta. And the reason you don't trade that unprotected pick from Atlanta is because, in the words of Joe Reinagel, we just don't know. Well, you're right, Joshua and James. Atlanta, maybe they end up having a good year and that pick isn't as valuable. But the Spurs are planning to have a better year, which means they probably won't be in the lottery. And the pick they have from Chicago is top 10 protected.
Why wouldn't they be in the lottery?
Because
they're going to be in the lottery.
You hope? Or
they will be.
Yeah, they will be.
Sure.
So they bring in all these veterans just to be back in the lottery?
Well, what are you expecting, a playoff run?
No, I think they're going to be about a 500 basketball
So
team.
play in?
Scratch in the play in.
All right.
Just good enough not to get another lottery pick, which is why you have to do everything you can to hang on to Atlanta's unprotected pick. The
Well,
fact that
Chicago's tanking. They already said so.
yeah, they are, but they're top 10 protected. So the Chicago pick is protected 1 through 10.
Uh-huh.
So if Chicago ends up with the 3 pick, they get to keep it.
Well,
we
they're
don't
going.
get it.
That's what I'm saying. They've already said they want.
Yep.
They want Cooper Flag. They're tanking.
Everybody wants Cooper Flag.
Well, apparently.
Everybody wants them. Hey, Jordan, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
All right. So first off, Joe, if you ever let anybody talk to you the way that man spoke to you, I swear to God, Joe, how disrespectful.
I know.
Well, he did say Mr. Reineck.
I know more than you, Joe. You should have told him, hey, slow down, Bubba.
Well,
you're already telling me everything I know.
I just wanted to know where he gets his info from because
Extra innings with pledge.
I hope Castle is a stud, but he knew it already.
I hope so too. But here's the thing, and I'll cut back. So I've had lunch literally, and this is years and years ago, but I've had lunch with both Tony Parker and CP3, and people forget that CP3 has ties to San Antonio and Pop. And I had lunch with both of them, and I will tell you, he wants to come here, and everything about him coming here will do nothing but improve the rookies that we have. The biggest thing is Pop wants him here because he'll listen to Pop. He respects Pop. He's going to go forward and teach pretty much everybody around him exactly what to do. But that connection runs deep, and I'm talking 2009, back in the glory days. So when he comes here, yes, it'll be a year or 2 years. But what's he also going to do? He's also going to sell seats, jerseys, TV time, everything that you need. So I'm with you. 2025 is the year. People need to calm down, but I swear to God, Joe, I better not hear anybody disrespect you like that again.
Well, I appreciate that. I need a bodyguard. Are you available?
Well, he might be. He might be.
Wow.
Hey, Jesse, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, yeah. So basically, myself too. I just wanted to follow up with what the previous caller just said. Myself with Chris Paul, because Antonio Daniels said it better. The Spurs need a point guard that thinks like a point guard, that acts like a point guard, that commands the floor like a point guard, that knows exactly where Wemby is going to need the ball. And a lot of these guys this past season, they seem kind of lost with Wemby. And some of them seem to kind of try to make up for it with, going out of their own way to score. And when Wemby was wide open for a pick and roll and whatnot, like Tony Parker, Avery Johnson, Speedy Claxton, they would have had a field day with Wemby, but these guys were totally lost. So I'm all in for Chris Paul.
I will say this, Jesse, appreciate the call.
Jesse.
And Chris Paul will help with that. The pick and rolls and Lob City and all that. Last year, Wemby got better when he got a real point guard in Trey Jones.
Sure.
So keep in mind, Greg Popovich is the one that decided, I'm going to create a point guard out of Jeremy Sohan, and that was a failed experiment that lasted way too long. As we talked about all last year. That's on Greg Popovich. That's on Greg Popovich.
Spurs front office made a mistake?
Coach.
Oh, coach.
Okay. In this particular role, we're talking about the coach.
I didn't think that ever happened.
No, the front office makes mistakes.
Okay. That's not what Spurs fans tell
you're starting to sound like the caller that ripped you. You hear what you want to hear.
I'm
right?
just saying.
And then you say stupid, all right? Don't do
just
that,
saying.
right? I mean,
saying.
But that was completely on Pop last year. And the idea that they never tried to bring in a veteran guard last year, which surprised me. I mean, George Hill lives here. George Hill would have loved to continue to play, right? And could have been that teacher last year. At one point, Pop's favorite player. And they refused to add it. And for a long time, Pop refused to say Jeremy at point isn't working. But once they did, things started getting better. That's why I think, and I've said a gazillion times, I think Trey Jones would be a great backup point guard on this team. Shouldn't be the starter.
Well, look, and I don't know who's going to be the starter next year. Maybe that goes to Stephon Castle, and maybe that's what they're hoping. But what does that do for Trey Jones? Is he here for the long haul? My issue is that. What happens next? Because after Chris Paul goes away and teaches everybody everything, Are those players that he taught everything to going to still be here? I don't know that. And so I don't know what the Spurs' plans are for magical 2025. So everything that he teaches Trey Jones, Castle will be here. Yes, I know. But, I mean.
Wow. I mean, maybe Chris Paul ends up on the staff.
Why would he do that?
Well, he's already proven he doesn't mind a pay cut.
Look,
I'm with you. I really am. But as they continue to grow and get better, and I think it's more about developing Wemby than it is any of those other guys.
And Chris Paul's going to develop Wemby.
He'll help. He'll help. I mean, he's that veteran guy that we were all screaming for last year.
Yes.
I mean, as I listen to you, I hear what you're saying, and yeah, I think if Chris Paul were here on a 4-year deal, you might be more excited about it. Not a 1-year deal.
Absolutely.
Right?
5 years ago, if they'd have made this deal and it was a long-term deal, I'd be celebrating.
5 years ago, we wouldn't have been bad enough to suck to get Wemby.
I'm just saying, in the same scenario.
I'm with you. But you're playing the cards that are dealt. And I hear from so many Spurs fans, and I, Friday we were having this conversation. Of course, I was alone. Or even going back to Wednesday, the Spurs fans want to get better faster than the Spurs front office do. And I get that. But we get so attached to the guys wearing our jerseys that you don't want to see any of them leave. It's like if you've got a farm animal, you got chickens or you got a pig or a cow or whatever, you can't name it and get attached because at some point that thing's going to be dinner. It's just got to be a farm animal. And right now, I think a lot of these Spurs players, you got to treat as farm animals. Don't get attached to them. They're not going to be here long, except for Victor.
Well, that makes my point for me. Then you bringing in Chris Paul to give the advice to Trey Jones when he goes and plays for Atlanta? That's what I'm saying. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me, and it won't. I'm happy Chris Paul is here. He's NBA royalty. He's a Hall of Famer. It's going to be fun to watch him play with Victor Wembanyama. But that's my whole point. Get some people in here that this team can grow with and not just be a Band-Aid until you hope 2025 is all you hope it will be.
Mm-hmm.
That's my whole point. I'm not mad it's just it doesn't make sense to me, like apparently it does to everybody else.
Forest and trees, man, got to see them both.
Well, I don't see them because there's no future. This is just this year and then it goes away.
The future is Wemby.
Absolutely.
The future is Wemby.
And get some players in here that he can grow with.
Extra innings with it's Castle to start. Extra innings with Pledge. Coming up next here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The Blitz back tomorrow at 2.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM.